icon, War Eagle 6, nicknamed Tiger. The Golden Eagle makes his appearance in ESPN2 primetime college football. Returns to the SEC tonight. Big battle in the West. The 1-2 Bulldogs of Mississippi State against the front-running 3-1 Auburn Tigers. Welcome to Auburn. I'm Dave Barnett alongside Bill Curry, Mike Golick, and Michelle Tafoya. Auburn's Tommy Tuberville has a lot to be happy about right now. He has the only undefeated team in the Western Division, 2-0, looking to go 3-0 tonight. But he says, we have good players. We are not yet a good football team. So, Bill Curry, tell me what's the difference?
The difference is that you improve on the basics at practice, and there's nothing more basic than ball security. Young quarterback Jason Campbell has done some marvelous things. He's completed almost 65% of his passes, 748 yards, but he's also fumbled the football 5 times in the last 2 games. So Auburn hopes he can come home after almost a month on the road and improve at his basics. As for Mississippi State, Mike Golick, very difficult to recover from a 52-0 drubbing at Florida.
Bill, you are absolutely right. And when you get beat by a score that bad, what do you do to rectify the ship? The leaders of your team have got to step up. And for Mississippi State, that means their quarterback, Wayne Matkin. The senior has started 36 games. He's 24-12 as a starter. He is the leader of this team. His teammates voted him the captain. He is the man that's got to come through for him, not making mistakes on the field and leading off the field on the sidelines. Going back to last year, in his last 166 attempts, he's only thrown 1 interception. That's the kind of production they need if they're to get back on track. Michelle, Wayne Matkins and his friends, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, certainly have had a nice streak, though, going against Auburn.
They really have, Mike. Mississippi State has won the last 4 straight over Auburn. Wayne Matkin and DeCenzo Miller have been part of the last 3 of those wins. Now, DeCenzo Miller sat out last week with a high right ankle sprain. He did not play against Florida. He returned to practice on Wednesday, and he is expected to play today. As for the Auburn players and coaches, they don't like being reminded about the losing streak to Mississippi State. The seniors in particular remember when the streak began. Left tackle Kendall Simmons told me in 1997 we were rolling. We were on cloud 9, and State came in here and took it away from us. Honestly, they don't like us, and we don't like them. It's a big deal to us, and this game means a lot to me. Dave?
Michelle, the largest crowd to watch a football game in the state of Alabama. 86,063 getting set for this one. We send you to Reese Davis in the studio.
Dave, thank you very much. Mark May is here with me. Let's get you up to date on games going on right at the moment. A little score around the country. 2 of the top 5 rushing offenses in America, Toledo and Ohio. Chester Taylor and the Rockets down 4. And Washington State, a season-busting game probably for Oregon State.
And they're doing it on defense and offense. Quarterback Jason Gesser's had an outstanding season. And if they can finish off Oregon State, Washington State, very quietly, 5-0 in the Pac-10.
They've got Stanford coming up, also unbeaten. Upsets earlier today. Georgia goes into Knoxville and wins for the first time since 1980.
David Green, their quarterback, went into this game, said, I'm not going to be intimidated by this crowd. He wasn't. Took the team down and scored in the last minute, but their offensive line kept out John Henderson, the retaining Outland Trophy winner, out of the backfield of Georgia.
A brilliant drive in the waning moments for Green. We'll show it to you at halftime. Kansas State falling to Colorado 16-6. L. Roberson held the 6 yards rushing, sack 6 times after that brilliant performance against Oklahoma last week. Of course, we'll talk about Texas and Oklahoma coming up at the half, but we've got the first half of football from the Plains. Pig Prather trying to get the Dogs back on track against Auburn. It's coming up from Jordan here in just a few moments.
It was our first house, and shortly before my parents' grand inspection, there was a tiny problem. I told my State Farm agent I had to get it fixed fast.
When you choose State Farm's Premier Service Claims Program, there's no calling around for estimates. You just go straight to a participating contractor, and they'll guarantee their work.
So this is it?
It's just that simple.
Why, they don't build them like this anymore. No, they don't.
Premier Service, just one more way. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
NHL hits with new scorching slap shots, bone-crushing hits, and glass-shattering action from the NHL's experts of impact. Rated everyone.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Here. I hope no one ate my lunch.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Feels like fall. Temperatures in the low 60s. A little bit of a breeze. Overcast all day. Showers earlier. And we are set to go. Mississippi State and Auburn, and Tommy Tuberville in his third year as the head coach here after moving over from Ole Miss. 17 wins, 11 losses on the Tiger sideline. But he has a streak he would like to get rid of, and that's 4 straight losses that Auburn has suffered to Jackie Sherrill and Mississippi State in his 11th year. Second in SEC tenure, now only to Steve Spurrier at Florida. And we'll see how he manages to get his team to forget about 52-0 Gators a week ago. Mississippi State won the toss and deferred. John Michael Marlin will kick it deep to either Tim Carter right there or Roderick Hood. Wind at his back, a good kick down to the 2, and muffed by Hood. And does well to get it back out near the 20. Redshirt freshman quarterback out of Taylorsville, Mississippi. Jason Campbell, his brother Larry, a Mississippi State linebacker in the late 90s. Tuberville says he is not a freshman anymore. And the Bud Light Auburn backs and receivers, Moore and Johnson, who will play 2 ways today. Willis, Carter, his favorite target so far. Diamond for the injured Robert Johnson, who's been one of his favorite targets, but out today at tight end with a sprained ankle suffered in practice Tuesday. And right away a flag down as the give to Moore produces a nice chunk of about 11 yards, but we'll see if this doesn't go against the Tigers.
Yeah, Diamond, the tight end, he started up the field a little too soon, number 49 for Auburn. He knew it.
Our referee tonight is Rocky Good. So they will call the motion. To be 1st and 15. Offensive line for the Tigers. Simmons, you'll probably see for the next 10-12 years at least. McGarry, Nowland, Fusillo, and Crittenden.
Yeah, Simmons is an absolute stud, about 315 pounds, good run blocker, good pass blocker. He does everything you have to do for the NFL.
And this group has been shuffled. Wayne Robertson moving into a starting end role, and Mario Hagan, who had been there, has had a position change today. Here's 1st and 15. Same thing, Moore again, nice yardage around the left end. And out of bounds at the 23. Only one linebacker for the Bulldogs, and they're 5-1-5. It's been Jason Clark. Today it is Mario Hagan who moves back from defensive end. And the 5 in the secondary, including 3 safeties, 2 of them they call dog safeties, and Pig Prather, probably the best of this group.
He is, and who lets the dogs out? The Pig Man, number 29. He's a heck of a football player.
8-yard pickup, 2nd and 7. And again, Costinius Moore breaking free. Prather saves a possible touchdown. 23 yards to the 45.
Brandon Johnson, you talked about him at the top, Dave. He's going to go both ways. He sprung the running back here. Fantastic job by the fullback. See right here, he'll be coming around. He's just going to light him up. Turns up the hole. Moore following. Great job. Actually took out 2 with that block.
Brandon Johnson out of Bayou La Batterie, Alabama. We'll see his endurance tested today. Been working. Why go away from it? Again, Moore running behind the Kendall Simmons side of the offensive line. And Hagan and Sean Birdsong combined for this tackle.
Well, certainly one of the things Auburn has to worry about is this right here. Penalties and turnovers. 8 penalties a game they've been averaging. They've lost 7. They've actually fumbled it 11 times, lost 7. They have 2 interceptions to go with that. Mistakes kill them, especially in that Syracuse game, the only blemish on their record. Syracuse did a great job against Auburn, but Auburn certainly did not help their cause at all in that loss.
2nd down and 6. And they continue to test the right side of the Mississippi State defensive front. And the best they've done so far. Ronnie Brown gets the carry, redshirt freshman, Cartersville, Georgia. And again, Hagan with Wayne Robertson on the tackle.
It's obvious that Auburn is aiming at number 45, Dwayne Robertson. Sean Birdsong, who is the dog on that side of the line of scrimmage, or has been thus far. They're lining up the tight end into the boundary and working them over, running the ball.
So here's a 3rd and 4. And just across into Bulldog territory. First pass of the day. Campbell has a strike, and we'll see if they give DeAndre Green the first down yardage. They will not. They'll spot him about a foot short.
And he ran the right route. He was right past the sticks, Bill. He caught it, and then trying to get more yards, stepped backwards and didn't give him the first down. They're certainly in the territory where they need to go for it, though.
Noel Mazzoni, offensive coordinator, said they're going to move Jason Campbell more. He can roll to his left and to his right. Nice elbow up, nice follow through with the step. He does this better than he stands in the pocket.
And Auburn will go for it on 4th and 1. Moore back in the game. Moore taking it right side, and he is stuck.
Number 22.
And after all the success they had running behind the left side of the offensive line, they try the right side and go nowhere.
Well, there's a package and there's a check for short yardage. And here's the coach, the head coach, going to the coordinator. What in the world are we doing running the ball over there? The O-line got whipped, got knocked in the backfield. Mike Fusillo, right guard, has stood up in the hole, and Mike Golick, that's a D lineman's dream.
You got one job. You hit a gap and make kind of penetration.
Promising early drive. Now they turn it over, and the Bulldog offense takes over at their 46-yard line. Dante Walker fights hard, maybe, for the line of scrimmage. Wayne Madkin, senior quarterback, winningest in school history, their all-time leading passer from Huntsville, Alabama. They're coming off one of the worst losses in school history. So we'll see how he leads the bounce-back Mississippi State offensive unit. Bud Light starters, Dante Walker. We do expect to see some of DeCenzo Miller. Jones gets his first start at fullback. Grindle and Jenkins are the wideouts, and Donald Lee is the tight end. Play fake. Madkin gets it off. Look at the running room for Lee, and the tight end still on his feet with a flag down. He's near the 20. 38 yards if the play stands for Mississippi State.
Lumpkin only 3 receptions so far this year, as longest at 8 yards. If this one stands, it'll certainly be a new long. I mean, Donald Lee, I'm sorry, I apologize. I want to credit the right man if he's going to get this, but he's not. It's coming back.
Boy, Jackie Sherrill sees a potential big early gainer come back.
Penalties from the spot of the foul, 10 yards, but still first down.
So Lee only credited with some of those 38 yards. The offensive line for Mississippi State, as usual, a big group. Thompson, Lee, Watson, Tucker, and Fairchild.
And Tommy Watson, the center, is the leader. He's the tough guy. He's the guy that's got to get that O-line cranked up to come back from last week's disaster.
Murphy and White rather than McNeil and Johnson. DeMarco McNeil, Spencer Johnson not starting the defensive tackles tonight for Auburn.
A second check by the quarterback.
And Dante Walker bounces off the hit but goes backwards. Now tries to reverse field and nothing there. Carlos Dansby drags him down. What they tell us about Dansby, who got his first start last week, great instincts, vision, just football smart.
Always around the football and seemingly at the most important time.
He is in the linebacking core with Thomas, far and away their leading tackler, and Pounds in the middle, Hood, Walker, Simmons, and Robinson in their secondary. It should be tested here on a 2nd and 17. Whistles and flags before the snap.
Derek Thompson, left tackle, moving early. Whew. Too many mistakes right off the bat, both teams.
Part of the snap, movement in the offensive line. The penalty is 5 yards against the offense. Still second down.
Yeah, he didn't move much, but when you're 300 pounds, they notice every little movement, don't they?
Every ounce of it quivers all the way to the upper deck. course, you would only know about the defense moving early, Michael.
Well, they're backed up almost where this drive began, and it's 2nd and 22. With 3 wides, Madsen looking over the middle, and a short gainer this time for Lee. Lee brought down quickly by Mark Brown, the linebacker. He backs up Tavarius Pounds in the middle, and another marker is down.
Didn't I just say that everybody had to watch their penalties because Mississippi State's averaging 9 a game, so they're certainly not any better.
Well, they're on a pace to get 9 here in the first quarter.
Wait a minute. Are you insinuating that the fact that you said something about it is going to have an impact?
I like to think my words have some sort of impact.
Didn't I just say you're not a coach, Mike? I keep telling you.
Still 2nd down.
I just thought I'd do that before you told me. See, I told you, you didn't get to do it this week first time.
I didn't. I'll give you that one. You got one up on me. That'll change.
Well, at this rate, they're going to be thrown out of their own end zone. Weston Griffith, bothered by a neck injury, makes his appearance. In the backfield with Madsen, who's chased by Rashad Walker. Pulls up, throws for very short yardage, if anything, to Grindle, hit immediately by Carlos Rogers. And we check into the studio with Reese Davis.
Dave, nobody does it in the 4th quarter like the Washington Huskies. Tied up with USC, 3 ticks to go. Toe meets leather. High enough, long enough. Ball game again. John Anderson with a field goal, 27-24. 11 out of 21 victories at Washington for New Heisel. A 4th quarter comeback. And the Mighty Gators are headed to Auburn next week. And they have annihilated LSU. 44-9 to score at the moment.
They're the same from Florida. 3rd and 29. Bulldogs actually 6 yards worse off than they were when this possession began. Madsen with time steps up and incomplete for Walker.
Not looking very good for Mississippi State to break a very important trend, which is that they've scored a grand total of 7 points in the first half of all the games this year. And it's situations like this, Mike, that put you in that category.
Yeah, 3rd and a mile is usually going to do it for you. Go ahead and give them that route all day.
So Jared Cook averaging right at about 42 yards per kick. Redshirt freshman by Columbus, Georgia. And this is a pretty good one coming down to Roderick Hood. Hood with a flag down reaches the 42-yard line. Hit there by Julius Griffith. A 28-yard return of a 46-yard punt before we find out what the flag's about.
It's going to be holding on Chris Butler, number 38, for Auburn. Either push him in the back or tackle them, one of the two, but it's definitely going against Auburn.
Now, these guys are trying to uphold their reputation as the most penalized teams in the SEC, apparently.
8-28 in the first half. Mississippi State, Auburn scoreless.
That I call my friends. We're just getting started when the long day ends. This bug's for you. And you and you and you. This bug's for you.
Here's a tip for all you busy folks who keep missing your oil changes. It's Quaker State's protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. 1, go to Napa. 2, grab a case of Quaker State and hurry home to change your oil. 3, score free college football stuff and enter to win season tickets. So, Quaker State at Napa. What more do you need to know?
And now, when you spend at least $40 at Napa, get a free Napa football at the checkout.
Okay, Vegas, Austin, Tulsa, Vegas, honey, Yuma, and Austin. Straws, kid?
When they need to get it fast, count on express mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Hey, want a hug?
The United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere.
One of the leaders of the Auburn defense, Travaris Robinson, limped off on that last series, a bruised left knee. So he's trying to keep it loose as the Tiger offense will take over at the 27-yard line. Moved it well until they were stopped on a 4th and short on their first possession. Now what Campbell does so well, throw on the run, and look at Brandon Johnson keep his feet for 12 yards and another first down.
And this guy's going to play defense too, right?
And special linebacker. And special teams.
And covers kicks.
Can we say Iron Man? Iron Man coming out of the backfield. He's been blocking. Jason Campbell does this so well, guys. He rolls left and throws the ball with a lot on it. He's a big, strong kid. Rolling left and throwing is one of the hardest things to do for a right-handed quarterback.
It's not Iron Man. It's Arn Man down here.
Arn Man?
Arn Man.
Okay.
1st and 10. They get more out in the clear again. Off the right side for another first down, a gain of 11. Khalil Nash, the nose guard, with the stop on Ksenius Moore, sophomore, Anniston, Alabama.
Mississippi State flat out stoned Auburn in the running game a year ago over at Starkville, and it's obvious Coach Tuberville's made up his mind. We're going to ram it right down their throat.
Hard to look at those numbers and figure this is the same two teams. They held Auburn to 18 rushing yards in that game, and Rudy Johnson played nothing. Moore in a foot race. Touchdown. 50 yards. Banks is the injured Bulldog. Ksenius Moore breaks a 50-yarder off that same side that he showed so much promise behind on their first drive. Kendall Simmons, left side of the offensive line. His 4th touchdown, the other 3 were all against Ole Miss. Bill, their SEC opener.
And Bill, you said it. They want to come out and establish the run. We talked to Kendall Simmons yesterday. We had a nice conversation with him. Then remember, right at the end of that one, he got a stone-cold look on his face, and he says, hey, gang, this is going to be a physical football game on Saturday, and they are running right behind the big fella, and he is doing the job along with Brandon Johnson and the rest of that O-line.
Yeah, and the tight end is doing a nice job for Lorenzo Diamond.
Yep.
But I tell you, when you look in the eyes of a guy like Kendall Simmons, and this guy's an artist and a gentleman, but those eyes got cold, and he said, I want this really bad.
Corey Banks still down. He inherited the number 2 and the corner position of Fred Smoot, the All-America who left after a terrific senior season last year for the NFL. It's Ksenius Moore, who made his first start last week at Vanderbilt, has a huge first quarter going. 5 carries, 96 yards, the 50-yarder to get the Tigers on the board. And now Damon Duval, who has never missed a PAT, 68 for 68 in his career, junior from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And a preseason All-America, also handles the punting about as well as anybody in the country. They will wait until Banks can make his way all the way across, and he is able to walk to the Mississippi State bench. Down a long time, but that's a hopeful sign. And now ready for the Auburn PAT. Justin Fetzko, the holder. Michael Lindsay with the snap. 69 for 69. 7:47 of the first quarter. Ksenius Moore already having more success than Rudy Johnson did all last year against the Mississippi State defense.
I saw it written and I saw it say, Bingo Moon is on his way.
the Basic Instinct Special Limited Edition DVD, packaged in a collectible see-through ice case with a free collectible pen and hot footage the director was forced to cut.
Do you like it too much?
Also available, the Total Recall Special Edition DVD. Buy them both today.
You can dunk, but you can't dip. Your dip is gone, baby. What are you talking about? No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip.
This is my house. Yes, it is. No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Folgers Decaf. Really good coffee.
College football Saturday. Damian Anderson leads the undefeated Wildcats in a battle with Ohio State. Northwestern, Ohio State, 7:45 tonight on ESPN.
Auburn with a 7-0 lead midway in the first quarter on a 50-yard burst. Almost untouched by Ksenius Moore. And 86,000 were already pretty jacked up. They didn't need a whole lot of incentive to get even louder, but they've got it. Corey Banks, number 20, to get himself settled again. Shaken up on the touchdown run.
Deep for Mississippi State, number 5, Fred Reed, and number 20.
Auburn, as we said, the only undefeated team in the SEC West. Mississippi State is 0-2. There are plenty of teams who have made the SEC championship game with 2 conference losses. All have come out of the West, but no one's made it from either division with 3 conference losses. So history tells you this is it for Mississippi State. In fact, the rest of the year, they can't afford any more conference losses.
Well, the run's been going left. Watch Lorenzo Diamond, Jay Ratliff, and Brandon Johnson, the fullback, clear it out for Ksenius Moore. Diamond, who I said first, will block down. Ratliff blocks out, and watch Brandon Johnson up a nice cut block. Moore breaks the tackle, and that is it. Running left has been working all night for Auburn.
And you're able to see what happened to Corey Banks. He got caught up and rolled on by his own man and was helpless as Moore took it all the way up the left sideline. So now the Bulldog offense starts with Walker breaking tackles for 9 yards, and we check in with Reese Davis.
Dave, last week, Iowa State's Seneca Wallace completed a Big 12 record, 18 straight passes against Baylor. I've seen Nebraska, and they're not Baylor. Keo Craver picks off Wallace, and he's going to go 57 yards to the house to put the Huskers up 7-0, and moments later, it would be Darren Diedrich crashing in. Iowa State hasn't won in Lincoln since '77, and it doesn't look good tonight.
2nd and 1 Bulldogs. Out of the eye. Almost always run. Huge upset if they don't. Walker plunges for 10. Let's send it down to Michelle.
Dave, you mentioned Mississippi State's Corey Banks getting injured on the touchdown. Paul Mock, their trainer, told me it's a subluxation of the right patella. That basically means he twisted his knee. He is expected to return, Dave.
Subluxation of the right patella.
Sublux means it came out of joint. And that is such agony, and that stretches things.
Usually hear it about shoulders.
Yes.
The knee of Banks this time. Here's to the fullback, Darnell Jones, redshirt freshman, Greenwood, Mississippi, who made his first start as a Bulldog today, and Mark Brown makes the tackle.
Well, that's why Michelle's down there to use those words, because I just said he hurt his knee.
It's sore.
Yeah. She can say those big words.
Now, Auburn, in Tommy Tuberville's mind, needs to sub more, and early on they are. They're keeping defenders fresh. We see Mark Brown already quite a bit behind Tavarius Pounds, middle linebacker. Walker with a cutback into Auburn territory to the 44. And Dante Walker for another 15. Carlos Rogers makes the tackle.
DeMarco McNeil, number 92, defensive tackle right here, preseason All-SEC, has really been struggling. He's really manhandled here, knocked over the pile by Tommy Watson. He had 104-degree temperature Thursday, and looks like he's still not feeling too high. He's playing awful high, and they're going right at the defensive tackles of Auburn.
He's also got a chronic knee condition that he says eventually will require surgery. It limits his practice quite a bit. Madkin, as he scrambled, had a wide-open Dante Walker and overthrew him.
We will have to keep an eye on the substitution, Dave. You brought up the point. And how about this? Dontarius Thomas, we talked about at the top, has 54 tackles, 25 more than the next man on the defense. And what do the coaches say? We have to get him out of the game more. I mean, that just doesn't seem to make sense. But what they're saying is we want him fresh for more of the game instead of going 70 plays where you may wear down some. We'd rather get 45 or 50 solid plays out of the starters.
Well, you saw McNeil give way to Marcus White. They come after Madkin. Blitz is picked up nicely, and the ball is overthrown, intended for Harold Lindsay. 2 overthrows in a row by Madkin. Madkin, their all-time leading passer, whose accuracy has gone up every year. He started 3 bowl games, the Cotton as a freshman, the Peach as a sophomore, last year the Independent.
Just a little zone for Auburn. Tries to get it over the linebacker and under the safety of the rover. Goes it too high.
58% coming into this one this year. Has to step up. Now throws on the run and another overthrow. Intended for Clarence Parker, and a late flag comes in about 5 seconds after the ball hit the grass.
Well, you know, Bill, that's one of those, the side judge is running right with him the whole way down, and he doesn't throw the flag. As the official in the middle of the field, the one farther away from the play, ends up throwing the flag.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing Tommy Tuberville understands because he's a former official. And the reason he's complaining is because of what you just said, Mike. The official from all the way across the field made the call, whereas the guy that was on the spot did not call a foul.
Holding on the defense. The hold is against an eligible receiver. The penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Now, you might argue this ball is not catchable, but defensive holding can be called whether or not the ball is catchable. Pass interference is only called if the ball is considered catchable.
We saw the ref standing right there. That's the ref that did not throw the flag.
And for the first time tonight, we see DeCenzo Miller, bothered by a sprained ankle. He's the loss to South Carolina. He's in at tailback and takes the option pitch with another marker down and whistles.
This should be called on the defense.
Yeah, Alton Moore was in the neutral zone, I believe, before Donald Lee, the tight end, moved.
So you're confessing?
Nobody's perfect, though. My dad used to say, son, nobody's ever played the perfect game except for me. My dad talking about himself.
I can't wait to meet your pop. My dad's right over in Opelika, and he said the same thing to me, except it was about weightlifting. I'm the only one that made the perfect lift, son.
Yeah, you got it right, Bill.
Well, that's 6 penalties. 3 against Sherrill, 3 against Tuberville. They've each cost their teams 25 yards.
I am sick of being right all the time.
It's a curse, isn't it? I know. I live with it all the time, too. Awful.
What's funny is the rest of us are we're so unaware of all that. It goes right over our head. You have to point it out every time.
Bill, you and I are going to start talking down to Dave a little bit.
So 1st and 5. And DeCenzo Miller keeps his footing and then pops it up. And it is an Auburn recovery by Roderick Hood.
And that's what happens when you're a tailback and you haven't been playing. DeCenzo Miller is a leader. He's a fine player, but he has not been getting knocked around. And you learn ball security by practicing ball security every day.
Marcus White, number 99, is the man who strips the ball right there. Pulls it out. The big man got both arms wrapped around and pulled it out of there.
Mississippi State with a promising drive. Continues a season-long problem. Worst turnover ratio in the SEC. Tigerson to 22. Lorenzo Diamond went in motion, and Campbell ready to air one out deep for Carter, who made a nice adjustment to the ball, and another late flag comes, and they're going to point at Josh Morgan, the free safety.
Somerville will not contest this call, Mike, but I don't think it's a very good call either.
And how about the play, though? I know, Bill, as a coach, a lot of coaches do this. After a turnover, you see that offense who got the turnover go for that big play right off the bat.
With a nice call, it was actually underthrown by Campbell.
Surprising for Campbell. He's got that strong arm.
Let's take a look. It looks like Coach Sherrill might be right here. I think that was a good play.
The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. It is an automatic first down.
That was timed exactly when the ball came.
Josh Morgan was beat, but because the ball was underthrown and because he had good recovery speed, he got there simultaneously with the ball, but that's not what the officials said.
Do you think they threw it because he didn't turn back and make a play on the ball?
No, that has nothing to do with it. There's no such thing as face guarding in college football. Evan, Pop Warner, you've got to stop doing this NFL stuff. I was talking Pop Warner.
First and 10. And Fresenius Moore. They'll take that every time on first down. Get about 5.
When have y'all thrown a pass in Pop Warner?
Hail Mary at the end of the game. I guarantee you, Kendall Simmons, the big man, is in the huddle saying, "Run over me." There is some talking going on down there. There's some hitting going on down there.
Yeah, these guys are playing tackle football now. But this is tackle.
This Auburn team that rushed for 18 yards this game last year, Moore has 101. This is his 7th carry. And Corey Banks back in after the knee injury. And upends Moore to bring up a 3rd and 2.
Kendall Simmons not only mauling people, he's not out there just running amok. He's also a skilled athlete. He has sort of a pick block here. He's got to hit first one man, secure him, and then come out. Here he is again, the big man, 73. Boom, boom. The linebacker run through, knocks him on the ground.
Threw him on the ground.
Well, that was just for extra good measure.
All right, now 3rd and short, and they keep it behind Simmons.
Boy, why wouldn't you?
Nope. DeAndre Green in the backfield, went in motion. And the pass is caught by Ronnie Brown with another marker down. And he leans ahead to midfield, which is plenty for the first down. Pig Prather and Demetric Wright combining for the tackle.
It's going to be one of them penalties, going to make one of the coaches mad. Somebody in the neutral zone, or maybe not enough men on the line of scrimmage for the offense.
Second thing you said was correct.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. 6 men on the line.
You got to have 7 up there. You can have more than 7, but you got to have at least 7. Just inexcusable mistakes again and again by both teams.
On the offense, 2 men prior to the snap, never getting set. Penalties 5 yards from the previous spot, 3rd down.
2 men moving prior to the snap without. If you can move 2 men, but if you do that, everybody has to be set a full count before the snap of the ball.
Now the 5th penalty against the Tigers. That's at 3rd and 7. 3 wides on the right side. Campbell in the gun.
Here they come.
And they'll come after him. Campbell hit as he gets it off. And probably just as well if that one goes incomplete. Marcel Willis makes the catch. And right on him is Banks, as Mario Hagan applied the pressure.
Hagan back to linebacker. That's a little more meat coming at linebacker on the blitz than coming from the outside at defensive end.
Now we're going to see one of the strengths of the Auburn team. One of the best punt units in the country. In fact, no one is better. That net punch reflects Duval's strong leg and how good they are at covering punts. This is one of his shorter efforts. And it is going to be returned, and a Ray Biggins return ended by Carter at the 48-yard line. 23-yard return for a team that had given up 16 return yards all year. Auburn.
A unique 5-door design. Formula One style E-Shift. Introducing the IS 300 Sport Cross. totally unexpected. At your Atlanta area Lexus dealer.
Albrook Chevrolet on South Main Street in Cedartown is the cheaper dealer. Why are we the cheaper dealer? Because we have low overhead. This allows us to offer our customers the lowest prices in the Atlanta area on a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We would like to invite you to come meet the friendly and knowledgeable sales staff and experience hassle-free car buying, available only at Albrook Chevrolet Buick Pontiac, South Main Street in Cedartown. Albrook Chevrolet, the cheaper dealer.
Well, the Sports Center is live 4 times a day, but that doesn't mean the other 7 broadcasts are straight repeats. Yeah, well, here, look. In this live show, Brian Kenny has his pen in his right hand, but in the rebroadcast, I put the pen in his different hand. And here, then, Linda Cohn is presenting with John Anderson, but in the rebroadcast, I've replaced John with El Macho Borracho, the winningest cockfighter in all of Mexico. It's all about keeping it fresh. That's what I do.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
We're under the lights in jam-packed Jordan-Hare Stadium. And after a 23-yard return by Ray Bivens, which is going to knock that net punting average by Auburn down a few pegs, Bulldogs take over just across their 48-yard line. And over the middle for Griffith. Perfectly thrown by Madkin. Inside the 30, Carlos Rogers. To tackle a 23-yard gain, we go to Reese Davis.
David Green had a perfectly thrown ball for Georgia against Tennessee in the waning ticks. He led his team down the field with under a minute to play, down 24-20 in Knoxville. Green, Veron Haynes, beautifully designed by Mark Rick. 26-24, Dogs pull the upset. Ole Miss at Arkansas State. Eli Manning drops a dime on Jamie Armstrong. Led to the Howard Sanford touchdown, 14-0.
The first tackle, keeps his footing just long enough to lose another yard. And Dontarius Thomas, who, as Mike pointed out, has almost twice as many tackles as anybody else on the Tiger defense, joined on this one by Mark Brown.
If you want to see how Miller is going to run and how much Thomas is going to be on him, it's Miller's right ankle. So that would say he would have difficulty going to his left. So let's see how he tries to run when he needs to cut.
There's Parker, the motion man, second down and 11. Miller the other way, cuts it back toward the middle, undercuts it, reaches the 20, and it'll be 3rd and 1 there, and he didn't look too banged up that time, did he?
Looked pretty good there. It's a right foot, so that's the foot he has to plant and move to his left. He scooted very nice there.
He scooted very nicely, and I'll tell you what we're seeing here, too. These are fresh legs. He hadn't played in a while. He hadn't practiced very much. And a lot of times, if he just can hang on to the football, a back like this will make a big difference. See the ball coming away from his body? That's what's dangerous, and he's already fumbled one.
Flags down, there was movement. Miller does have enough for the first. Not that he would have made a big difference in the score, but they definitely missed him last week against Florida. And it will be against DeMarco McNeil offside. But last year against Florida and the Mississippi State win, Miller had the best game of his career, 172 yards. So you figure he would have been some form of factor, whether they lose by 42 instead of 52.
52 to 7.
Offside. Against the defense. The penalty's 5 yards. It's a first down.
So much about this season bears no resemblance to 2000 for Mississippi State, but they are happy to get Miller back in and the tailback tag team with Dante Walker. DeCenzo trying to make a cut around Mark Brown, and he couldn't do it. And down we go to Michelle.
Well, you guys, linebacker Tavarius Pounds for Auburn out at the moment with a bruised lower leg. He's got an ice pack on it. The training staff tells me they don't know if he's going to be able to come back in, Dave.
Well, he's their second leading tackler. Just 29 coming in, but that was good for second on the team.
Leading spectacular last year before he dislocated his shoulder in the Arkansas game.
So look for a lot more Mark Brown. Madkin looking at second, and 10, but time runs out on the first quarter. Auburn 7-0 on a 50-yard touchdown sprint by Cassinius Moore.
The NHL is back. ESPN Wednesday Night Hockey. Wednesdays only on ESPN.
Okay, Vegas, Austin, Tulsa, Vegas, honey, Yuma, and Austin. Straws, kid? Phoenix, huh?
Years ago, we started this business. 10 years ago, our sons wanted to help. Last year, our daughter decided to join. Our whole family is in the business. How do we make sure the business stays in our family?
At Lincoln Financial Group, we provide clear, understandable business succession planning to help you preserve the work of a lifetime. Lincoln Financial Group, clear solutions in a complex world.
Want a job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster. The Home Depot is driving down the cost of home improvement. Now is the time to buy carpet at the Home Depot. Choose from over 3,000 styles, colors, and textures. And right now, get the carpet pad free with installation. Plus, you'll have no payments and no interest if paid by spring 2002 when you use your Home Depot consumer credit card. America's best brands, all at the guaranteed low price. You're going to be floored by the savings at the Great Carpet event, going on now at the Home Depot.
Now through Monday at Zales, we're having a diamond sale where you can save up to 50% and more throughout the store. Like this 6-carat diamond bracelet, just $9.99, our lowest price ever. At Zales, the diamond store.
Look, this is a dirty fuel injector. This is a clean one. As you can see, cleaner works better. That's why I use STP fuel injector cleaner in my car. I add STP every time I change my oil. STP, it's basic car maintenance.
Back at Auburn, where the sun sets over Jordan-Hare Stadium. And Mississippi State begins the second quarter with a 2nd and 10. At the Auburn 16-yard line. Madkin out of the gun over the middle and too low that time for his tight end, Donald Lee. In the first quarter of the ESPN2 game track, highlighted by 7 carries, 104 yards, 50 for the touchdown here by Cassinius Moore.
Penalties continue to be a major bugaboo for these guys. 5 for 35 yards for State, 4 for 40 for Auburn already.
Mississippi State 45 yards rushing already in the first quarter. They had 44 the entire game in their loss to Florida last week.
Tigers creeping up, showing blitz. Miller at the 11. And another flag is down. Dontarius Thomas and Rashad Walker bring down Miller.
That's the first time, Mike, that Miller did not look like himself, because he's got great explosion, and he really couldn't. I thought he was going to burst that thing to the sideline.
Justin Griffiths was out in front of him, got a pretty good block, and he just couldn't turn the corner.
I think that's where the issue is going to be with his right ankle.
Now, what do you do here, Bill? You take this one and back him up or decline it?
On the offense.
Take it.
The penalty's 10 yards from the previous spot. It remains 3rd down.
Take it.
Take it? Yep. Push it back on that field goal. Try, hope longer field goal try.
Make them try to throw a vertical or something here and get a turnover, you know, all kind of things. But the odds are very much in favor of the defense for this down and distance.
this time with Parker and Grindle up top and Justin Jenkins wide left. Juggled and almost intercepted by Mark Brown as Jenkins couldn't bring it in.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's what you hope for on defense. And what you hope for on offense is you can hit that crosser and let him turn it up and run a long way, but he has to catch the ball.
Well, it's a high percentage play. You short pass and you hope your receiver can do something with it, but, oh, Mark Brown.
Well, I'll tell you who's having a heck of a game. Young Carlos Rogers, true freshman from Augusta.
43-yarder here by Marlin, whose best and only kick, in fact, this year has been a 24-yarder, but he has this one nailed. John Michael Marlin, who had made only one of his first 4 kicks, has Madkin of the offense on the board. 7-3 Auburn.
Now Mississippi State has a total of 10 points in all their first halves.
Well, they got to get 4 more to match their average.
Yeah.
I know one thing. I know those coaches are awfully happy about that field goal because young John Michael has a lot of talent. John Michael Marlin, number 42, but he's been so erratic that they really sort of hold their breath when he runs out there, and sure enough, he's now 2 for 5.
Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, you guys, team building was a big thing for Jackie Sherrill this week, so he used gallon jars, a 5-pound bag of rice, and 10 tennis balls. What he wanted to show is that you could fit them all, but only in a certain way. First example, he put all 10 tennis balls in at the same time, but he couldn't get all the rice in. Second one, he put all the rice in first. He could only get 4 tennis balls in, but he said if you mix it up just the right way, you can get all 10 tennis balls and the 5-pound bag of rice into this 1-gallon jar, and I've proven that it can be done because it is right here. I guess that would make me a good coach. I'm not sure, Bill.
Make you a good cook, Michelle.
You're a good cook.
Your husband, Mark, would appreciate that, but maybe not the tennis ball part.
Low kick taken by Carter on a hop. And a return of 23 yards for Tim Carter. Back to the studio, Reese Davis.
All right, Dave, and more from Lincoln, and the Huskers are rolling against the previously unbeaten Cyclones. They're in Diedrich. Again, popping it to the outside. Won't quite make it in the house. Krautswood a couple of plays later. Nebraska's up 20-0, and Toledo has assumed control against Ohio. It's 31-17. Tavares Bolden having a huge night.
So the Big 12 already shaping up with Oklahoma and Nebraska on a collision course. Don't forget about Colorado, the huge win today at Kansas State. Make themselves a factor in the North. Jason Campbell with a flag down. Incomplete.
Auburn just made the same mistake again. 2 people moving without coming to a full stop for a full count. This is coaching. Coach Tuberville will be livid, as he should be, again.
So I want to go back to what Michelle was talking about with Jackie Sherrill. And what you do after a blowout like happened to them 52-0 is a coach seems to get philosophical as well as X's and O. And I'll continue after the call.
Legal shift against the offense. 2 people prior, moving prior to the snap. Did not become set. 5-yard penalty. Repeat for them.
But you have to get into a little more than just X's and O's when you get beat that bad. And I can imagine him up on the dais doing that in front of his team with the rice and the tennis balls. I saw Michelle do it before the game. It can be done. But Jackie must have done it interesting in front of the players.
Backing up, 1st and 15. Moore, who had 175 yards for the year in their first 4 games and 104 yards in the first quarter tonight. Sean Birdsong up from the safety for the tackle.
Well, he's trying to promote team chemistry, right, and make people understand that. But I just wonder if you would call that a baseline souffle, or just what would you call that thing?
Well, I don't know. Those tennis balls, it tastes like cooked up.
Both these coaches are struggling with team chemistry, trying to get a football team together. That's what he was trying to promote.
Birdsong up, now backs off. Mississippi State defense involves faking blitzes. Campbell going deep, intercepted by Morgan. Josh Morgan to the 36-yard line with the first interception by the Bulldogs all year with the flag down. And there was definitely contact in the middle of that pattern with the ball intended for Joe Watkins.
The second time, Bill, it's a underthrown ball again.
Wide open deep ball. Nice call. Nice call by Noel Mazzoni, offensive coordinator for Auburn. But the young quarterback hasn't gotten it out there.
Nope.
Well, this call evidently just on the return and not on the contact in the middle of the pattern.
I saw what you were saying, Dave. When he cut in front of him, you're saying it looked like you might have had contact with him.
After the interception, we have the clip on the run back. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Morgan gets finally the first interception of the year for State.
He's badly beaten. The receiver is well behind him. He comes back to make the catch only because the ball is grossly underthrown. That ball needs to be thrown out about 5 more yards. And these are things that Jason Campbell will learn. He has a strong enough arm. He has the presence. And he'll watch this tape and he'll get better. There's no way to learn except to go out there and play when you play this position this early in your career.
Ways to go before they get near last year's total.
But I must say this, too. Talking about what happened last week and this week, if that were Florida, both of those throws would have been for touchdowns. Josh Morgan was beaten on both of them.
First and 10. Well, they back up and start just across their own 20. And Dante Walker taking a turn up the middle. Northwestern and Ohio State. Reese Davis.
They barely finished dotting the I before Jonathan Wells sent the 102,000 plus into a frenzy from 72 yards out. Wells is gone. Buckeyes jumping on top. Buckeye Nation and asked the fans to make it sound like 100,000, and Wells did his part.
Northwestern still unbeaten, challenged as you knew they would be already in Columbus tonight. Second down and 8. And Madkin with the deep out. Leaping attempt that time by Justin Jenkins. Not quite able to jump that high. That would be third and 8.
Bills, it looked like the ball's taken off a little bit. It's the third overthrow we've seen by Madkin. It looked like the ball's taken off on him a little bit.
He's not throwing those touch routes as well as he normally does. His improvement, we had a chance to see him in his Peach Bowl performance and then in another game last year, and he had obviously improved his accuracy, but he hasn't thrown those balls well. You're right.
Only 3 of his first 9. And the same thing.
And again.
Same pattern, same receiver, same result.
And that's the play. It was right at the stick. The throw's on the mark. It's first and 10 Mississippi State.
So the Tiger defense forces a quick 3 and out after the Mississippi State interception. They're on to kick it away to Roderick Hood. Into the wind in the second quarter. The ball got off a short, went into the wind, even shorter, and a backwards bounce this time for Cook, and he will only get 28 yards on the kick. 7-3 Auburn.
You ready for a cold one?
Yeah.
Is it cold enough for you?
It's cold. It's not Coors Light.
Brewed at the edge of freezing to lock in that Rocky Mountain cold taste. Coors Light. Ah, tasty.
You can drop in anytime.
She's not your daughter, but if you give her a ride home after school, she might as well be. Carpooling on the wings of Goodyear.
a series that Auburn has had mostly its way over the years. And this is the 56th consecutive year for Auburn to meet Mississippi State. 50-22 with 2 ties favor the Tigers, but not the last 4. Bulldogs have won all of those, their longest streak in the series since the 40s. And after the short punt, good field position from the 49. Carnell Williams, true freshman, hit for a loss. And we check in on Ole Miss with Reese Davis.
Ole Miss unusually on the road at Arkansas State, up 14-0 in the second quarter. Not unusual for Ole Miss to be on the road, just unusual to be at Arkansas State. Eli hits toward Stanford for the touchdown, 21-0. But then Josh Driscoll answers to Alvin Powell, and you just don't go into Indian Stadium and handle Alvin Powell. 21-7 Ole Miss.
Williams dropped for loss of 4. Alabama, Mr. Football and Player of the Year at Etowah last year. High hopes for him. Campbell thought he had all day. All of a sudden, he's on his back. The pocket collapses on a blitz by Prather, joined by Jason Clark. And the Tigers keep going backwards. Tomorrow on ESPN. By sky or by land. Pro Bowler Jeff Garcia is the offensive spark plug for the San Francisco 49ers. Carolina's Chris Weinke continues to cut his teeth on opposing defenses. It's the 49ers and the Panthers in an NFC West showdown, 8:28 Eastern on Sunday Night Football.
233 yards rushing for the 49ers when they beat Jets.
3rd and 24. Breaking through Nash, Campbell will have to keep it, and not for much. Tiger fans want to hear a late hit whistle. They won't get a flag this time.
Whoa. And Jackie Sherrill, he really got in the face of Tommy Kelly and said, son, be careful. That would have been a bad penalty against Mississippi State.
Now, speaking of bad, we got a 2-man rush coming here, and Auburn can't hold up. Khalil Nash is in the backfield, forces Campbell out more quickly than he wants to go. You really shouldn't get beat by a 2-man rush for Jolie Dunn.
Not good.
We'll see what Duval does with the wind at his back. They come after him. They bump him, but no flag, and a much better kick. Bivens fielding it inside his 5. And Ray, who returned the first effort, 23 yards, 10 yards here on a 56-yard kick by Duval. That's better with a win.
You ready for a cold one?
Yeah.
It's cold, but it's not Coors Light. Coors Light. Tasty.
I am very proud of my lawn.
We enjoy it as much as he does.
Our neighbors usually ask me what I use, and I tell them. I use Scott's Winterizer.
He really cares.
When you apply it in the fall, the food actually enters the root system. It stores it over the winter, and then in the spring, it perks that grass right up. It explodes, basically. Obviously, it's a critical step.
He's tried other products, too.
It just didn't work out. Scott's Winterizer gives me the last green lawn in the fall and the first green lawn in the spring.
How's it going, Dave? How am I doing? You're a natural. Hey, you got an oven in there, guys?
When you get that craving for Wendy's bacon mushroom melt.
Coming through. That was close.
With 3 strips of bacon and mushrooms in a cheddar sauce, you just have to get one.
Hey, Dave, come on in. We got to go get lunch. I'm starting to get the hang of this. He says he's getting the hang of it.
Wendy's bacon mushroom melt. When you got to have one, you got to have one.
Oh.
Remember, Wendy's pickup windows open late, so you can eat great, even late.
You ready for a cold one?
Yeah.
It's cold, but it ain't Coors Light.
Coors Light. Tasty.
I need new friends.
Smash Mouth football right up until kickoff.
A little football amongst friends. Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday mornings at 11 Eastern. Only on ESPN.
Gotta show you one more time what Anthony Bryant just did on that special teams effort.
Carlos Rogers, say hello to Mr. Anthony Bryant. Hello. Oh.
Good clean shot. Anthony's an Opelika guy from right near here.
That's a 5-yard trip he took Rogers on. Dragged down from behind is Walker as Marcus White runs him down. Big 284-pound defensive tackle out of Theodore, Alabama.
And that's what Auburn's been needing is better play from their defensive tackles. Marcus White penetrates quickly here, plants that big foot, turns and runs laterally, and runs down the fleet tailback, reminding us of a young Michael Golick.
Who? That's what I'm talking about. Bob's brother. Remember him?
Yeah, you ain't never run that fast in your life.
Walker 1, second and 11. Walker the other way. Little more room there, but again, he's moving behind and down. No fumble. No fumble.
Now, Mike, you were a defensive lineman. Seriously, that was James Chow. You're making a pursuit play. Those guys have picked it up, haven't they?
You know, it's amazing, D linemen nowadays, how it used to just be hold up the man and come off, but now these guys can run as fast as linebackers in chasing. It's amazing, coming all the way from the backside. The athletic ability is incredible in the game today, especially with these two teams. But as you talked about, they're trying to get them to play better as teams, but the athletic ability is certainly there.
James is one of the most engaging conversationalists we've ever talked to. Sharp guy.
Sets up on 3rd and 7, and that will be short of a first down. On the catch by Donald Lee to Reese Davis.
All right, Dave, Washington State and Oregon State in what could be a season-busting game, as we mentioned, for the Beavers. Jason Guess, who's just been outstanding. Mike Bush, one of that bevy of receivers that he has. Touchdown there. Oregon State actually just scored again. It's now 34-20, 6 and change to go. Wake Forest on top of NC State by 4 there at the break.
And again, Robert Hood back waiting to receive the kick by Jared Cook. Much better this time into the wind, and Hood has to call for the fair catch at the 36-yard line. This one goes 41 yards for Cook.
41 yards. No flags, guys.
Yet. 8:13 in the second quarter.
Gave it the power of 227 horses. We gave it the control of all-wheel drive. But the spirit of a 3-time World Rally champion, that it had to earn. Meet the turbocharged rally-bred Subaru WRX. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive.
The world doesn't need another wireless service. It just needs a better one. Welcome to Suncom, a member of the AT&T Wireless Network. Wireless that's better because it's simpler. With new simple plans that include unlimited incoming calls, good anywhere in more than 250 Suncom cities. All to make life a little simpler. Suncom, simply yours.
Fall is in the air. Hoo-ha. And that means it's time for fantasy football from ESPN.com. You and 9 friends log on. You form your own league. You hold your own draft. You make unlimited trades and transactions. And you are the master of your team's destiny.
The capo di tutti capi.
It's ESPN Fantasy Football 2001. The classiest fantasy football on the internet.
It's primo.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Keystone Light. Always smooth, never bitter. And by Goodyear, who reminds you to take all of life's journeys on the wings of Goodyear.
Second quarter from Jordan-Hare Stadium. The Auburn campus, Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, Mike Golick, Michelle Tafoya. 7-3 Auburn. They take over at their 36. And Carnell Williams will begin the series at tailback. Williams with the top right.
Number 24,
about 5 yards or so.
Right in.
Jason Campbell's brother, we pointed out, played for Mississippi State. He was a linebacker, 95 to 98. There's Larry right next to their mother, Carolyn, from Taylorsville, Mississippi. He says Larry did not try to influence where Jason decided to go to school. He said, go wherever you're ready to spend 4 years and be comfortable.
Good advice.
Was that an Auburn sweatshirt he had on?
I think it was.
Williams again. And he comes up a couple yards shy of the first, down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, one person who did influence Jason Campbell was his great uncle. The day before Auburn two-a-days began, Campbell was at the bedside of his great uncle, Theophilus Moffett, holding his hand and sadly watching him die. And that's why you'll see Campbell point to the sky after every touchdown he's a part of. He's dedicating his success to his great uncle, who was like a second father to him, Dave.
Always has him right in the back of his mind. Motion out of the backfield by Carter. Split wide now on 3rd and 3. They are coming after Campbell. He's hit as he gets rid of it, and it is incomplete. And it was Tommy Kelly who timed this hit perfectly.
Yeah, he did. He got that one just right. Campbell has to get rid of the ball just a little bit quicker in that one. Just needed 3 yards. The receiver was there. He got to get rid of the ball. See him hold on to the ball a little too long. It's just a quick route by the top receiver. Throw it. He hangs on to it just a split second too long.
A lot of movement in the first quarter, and the second quarter dominated by the defense. Lots of 3-and-outs back and forth. Duval booms this one to Bivens, who lets it go into the end zone. And that will be a 57-yarder for Damon Duval. Tomorrow, ESPN2 concludes our coverage of Major League Baseball with the National League Central still in the balance. Cardinals lead by a game. They again host the Astros tomorrow. Decided 2 Eastern. And then at 4, 1 Pacific, on to San Francisco to see if Barry Bonds can extend his home run record against the Dodgers.
I think we have enough going on this weekend. Bonds already at 72, looking for more. Tony Gwynn's last game this weekend. Cal Ripken Jr.'s last game this weekend.
Bonds with 2 last night to break that brief tie with Mark McGwire. Madkin with a deep one for Ray Bivens, who stopped his pattern, and it was almost intercepted by Roderick Hood. I wonder if Bivens stays in stride, if that's a perfect pass from Madkin.
Well, there's some incredible basic errors going on in the passing game for both teams tonight. Bivens stops running.
Right.
Okay, when you're on a deep ball, the principle is you just fly, and it's the quarterback's job to lay it in there for you. If he stops right there. If he keeps running, he's got a shot at the ball. As for Hood, you go up with 2 hands and you catch the football. A lot of basic football for these young teams to learn.
They give it to the tight end, in fact. Donald Lee coming around, and right there for him is Ronald Timmy, the rover, to Reese Davis.
All right, Dave, after Ohio State shocked Northwestern right out of the gates, the Cats coolly, calmly march down the field and go to Damian Anderson. Randy Walker displeased with the inability to get Anderson loose last week. He's loose now. Northwestern and the Buckeyes tied at 7. And, boy, look at what the Hoosiers did to Wisconsin at Camp Randall, 63-32.
3rd and 17, Mississippi State at their own 13, down 7-3. Donald Lee with the catch, breaks the tackle by Mark Brown. Help arrives in the person of Carlos Dansby, and again a 3-and-out turned in by the Auburn defense.
A lot of work out both these teams running the sidelines after the 3-and-outs. Both defenses doing good jobs of putting the offenses to Bill in 3rd and long situations.
They really are. They're not giving up much on the run anymore. Each of them have bent but not broken at all.
This kick by Jared Cook actually backing Robert Hood up. And again, Auburn will have pretty good field position. 42-yard effort, 8 on the return. They'll start from their 41 with 5:06 to go in the first half. 7-3.
The first oil filter ever made back in 1923 wasn't called an oil filter. It was called a purelator. Today, every car on the road relies on technology pioneered by Purelator. And the same company that invented the oil filter just keeps reinventing it. So that for anyone who cares enough to change their own oil, Purelator continues to mean pure oil then, pure oil now, pure oil later.
We are back, man. That was possibly the finest rock and roll show I have ever seen. I Smell World Tour!
Wow. You mean the whole world?
Yet. You're not Gene. You're not Paul. You guys aren't Kiss.
No. But we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
A squad is a unit that's together, so you're only as good as the slowest person in your squad.
It's not about me anymore. We need to get through this together. Everybody gets the same training. It doesn't matter if you're going active or reserve.
Log on. Watch me become we.
Let's go!
Only at GoArmy.com.
Still, the only touchdown was the 50-yard sprint, the first quarter by Carsinius Moore, the sophomore from Anniston, Alabama. He has 8 carries, 109 yards. This against the defense that allowed Auburn only 18 rushing yards in the entire meeting last year. In the SEC Player of the Year, Rudy Johnson, only 26 rushing yards. And still just a 7-3 lead for the Tigers. And Brandon Johnson, the sophomore fullback, with a 5-yard burst on first down.
Well, throw that man a bone, Johnson, because he's the man blocking as well as the guys in the truck. Give you a great look at Johnson, 45, leading the way for Moore. He's doing that on all of these runs. Again, Johnson leading, Moore taking advantage of it. And then on the touchdown run, he goes low. Moore goes 50 yards, and I'm sure he found Brandon on the sideline. So thank you very much, sir.
Moore again behind Johnson. And a first down for the Mississippi State, 46-yard line. That ends 5 straight 3-and-out possessions by the two teams combined. At last, the Tiger first down. The clock at 4:24. Both teams, all 3 of their timeouts. And Auburn plenty of time to add to this lead.
No doubt their success is the rushing game tonight, and there's nothing, believe me, I've been on that end of it defensively, more demoralizing than getting run on, and that's exactly what's happening in Mississippi State right now.
And they'll just keep running on them until they prove they can stop it. Moore across the 45. With Johnson gone, a new quarterback, and at times this year, a true freshman at center. Right up the middle, Auburn is as young as any major team in America. They've got 2 freshman running backs, and Moore is the old man, a sophomore. Johnson, the fullback, just a sophomore. So they're literally growing up before our eyes. Somerville says that still for Campbell, every snap is a brand new experience for him. It's tough to keep that in mind while not expecting him to look like a freshman anymore. And his 5th college start. Right on target that time for DeAndre Green at the 39 with coverage by Corey Banks, which couldn't have been a whole lot tight. Auburn with only 11 seniors on this roster.
That's a lot of team meetings at Chuck E. Cheese.
Underclassmen have 97% of the rushing yards, 69% of the receiving yards, 100% of the pizza bills.
3rd and 2 at the 39.
And 3rd and 3 from the gun. Once again, Shoblitz back off. All day for Campbell. Going deep for Walken. And it hit the back of the defensive back, Josh Morgan, who earlier intercepted a deep ball intended for Walken.
There is a specific gift that some quarterbacks have for throwing the deep ball in exactly the right spot. It is mostly repetition. This guy has a strong enough arm, but this is the 3rd deep ball that he's thrown about 5 yards short. It's the 3rd time that the Mississippi State secondary has been burned with a receiver behind it, only to have the ball underthrown.
Boy, I tell you before.
And I say again, excuse me, Michael, if that's Florida, those are all touchdowns because they don't underthrow them.
Well, we're going to see how strong the leg David Duvall really has. This is going to be a 56-yarder. His career best is 51. Does he have enough? He's wide right. But he did have enough.
He had plenty, and he kicked a 67-yarder in practice, according to the bystanders. And the bystanders know more about it than anybody in football.
He made a 57-yarder at high school, 55 4 different times. Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern. Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Sterling Sharp, Steve Young, and Chris Mortensen all join Chris Berman, preparing you for the day's NFL slate. Tomorrow, Chris and the gang looking in-depth at the downward spiral of the woebegone Washington Redskins. NFL Countdown only on ESPN. DeCenzo Miller in the tailback rotation, tripped up on what looks to be a nice gainer. And we check on what Reese Davis has in store for us at the half.
And Dave, when halftime comes around, we'll take you up to Knoxville and see how the Dogs pulled off the big upset against Tennessee. Also in the Big 12, a similar situation with Colorado going on the road against Kansas State. Wildcats trying to bounce back after that tough loss to Oklahoma last week. And we'll also check on, of course, the game of the day in the Big 12, the slugfest between Oklahoma and Texas.
2nd down and 7, under 2 minutes. Madkin looks up, and that one's catchable, but still a little on the high side, and Miller knows he should have had that one.
You know, guys, we've been talking a lot about Auburn's rushing attack, Brandon Johnson and more, how they've been running the ball and blocking really well. But you know what? Give credit to that Mississippi State defense because the score is just 7-3. Mississippi State defense has been putting the Mississippi State offense, they've been giving them opportunities. And so far, Bill, the offense is not taking advantage of it, whether it's underthrown balls or drop passes or not enough running game.
A lot of overthrows by Madkin. They had 7 drops in the Florida game, and they got a couple tonight that have been costly.
Tigers blitzing. Madkin scrambling, has room for the 1st down, and picks it up across midfield.
Madkin's not a guy that's a mixer and mingler with his teammates. His coaches were pleased when the guys elected him captain this year. Plays like this are the kinds of things he needs to do to lead his team. Getting those pads down, making that 1st down.
John Lovett, Auburn defensive coordinator, at the top unit in the SEC last year in the regular season. And this year, 10th nationally in total defense, just against the pass. Madkin looking deep. It is caught. Still going. Clarence Parker. He's out of bounds at the 7. Donnie Young preventing a touchdown, 42 yards. Madkin to Parker.
A good job of throwing the ball in between Rashad Walker and Carlos Rogers. Drop the ball right in there. You see it to the left of your screen. You'll see 2 Auburn defenders, and the ball dropped right in between them. That's a nice throw there by Madkin.
Carlos Rogers not wrapping up, and he could knock Parker off his feet. It cost him. Here's 1st and goal, Mississippi State. They swing it again. Too tall for Miller to bring in. See, those aren't completely uncatchable passes, but they're not where he's trying to put it.
Those balls have to be perfect throws.
Absolutely.
Wayne is struggling with his accuracy tonight. He made a nice throw on the deep ball just now on the sideline. But that throw is just a touch pass. It's almost like a toss sweep. And that's what DeCenzo said when he came back. I've got to have that thing.
Tigers giving up 75% touchdowns.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all.
Okay, 86,000 in his ears. Shotgun draw, Miller maybe for 3. And it'll be 3rd and goal in the last minute of the first half.
Well, what a huge momentum builder for the Bulldogs if they could stick this one in the end zone and take a lead. Have a lead at halftime. You want to talk about momentum from a team that got beat 52-zip last week to have the lead at halftime against Tommy Tuberville's Tigers.
Bulldogs have scored only 1 touchdown in any first half all year. No better time than now to get their second. From the 6. Madkin all day over the middle. Jenkins hit immediately by Dansby. He gets only 2, and it's 4th and goal. They all have all 3 of their timeouts, and Madkin will get the clock stopped finally with 12 seconds. And we'll see what the Mississippi State decision is. You'd expect them to get the kicking unit on, and I think they will.
Imagination is the foundation upon which an education is built. But there are some things most students could never imagine, like living without running water or checking for snake tracks. At Auburn's Rural Studio, architectural students are designing homes for those who need them. Learning that having talent and an education doesn't place you above the rest of the world. It makes you responsible for it.
The Southeastern Conference, a tradition of excellence. SEC, celebrating 10 years of the conference championship game.
Well, you're on the 4 with only 12 seconds to go, and you can make it a 1-point game. And so after the timeout, we do see John Michael Marlin hit a 43-yarder. By far the longest of his 2 successful trips. This one will be only 22 with a sharp angle. And Marlin is 2 for 2.
With 7 seconds left to play in the half.
So the Tigers keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone, and they keep their lead.
Coach Curry. Right move there. Take the 3.
Absolutely.
4-yard line to not go for the lead.
4 yards is a long way on 4th down there. For Mississippi State, in the sense of the morale of the football team, and you cannot overemphasize what they're coming off. The 52-0 smashing a week ago. To come out here in a hostile stadium, coming off that, wondering what you're made of, and to go in at the half 7-6 is a whole lot better than fizzling down there and going in 7-3.
You just saw Courtney Lee, number 74, pretty angry on the sideline, and I was watching in the break some of the old linemen, and they were pretty mad. They wanted to go for the touchdown. Now, of course, that's when the coach steps in and say, fellas, calm down a little bit. We're going to get some points.
The coach steps in and he says, man, if you wanted to knock it in the end zone, you should have knocked it in the end zone.
Play earlier, huh?
Yeah, 2 plays earlier, 3 plays. Do your job. You let me do the coaching. You do the playing. That's what you say to the big guys up front.
Do you talk to players like that, Bill?
I would never. No, probably, well, occasionally.
By the way, how glad are you that you don't have the night ahead of you that Phil Fulmer and Mac Brown have ahead of them?
I'm telling you,
devastating.
Just like a death in the family. It shouldn't be, but that's how you feel.
High kick by Marlin, bracing up for the fair catch. Good with 7 seconds.
Speaking of which, Phil Fulmer will be practicing that technique next week instead of the squib kick at the end of the game. I'm serious.
I can't, Bill, I don't understand why teams do that. When you want to, you're just trying to, you're kicking off and you squib kick the ball. You're giving the other team great field position when you do that, and Georgia certainly took advantage of it.
I mean, we've all done it. I mean, if you've got somebody that can make that little kick to the 25-yard line, forcing the fair catch, then that's what you do, because otherwise you're going to give it up 35 or 40. You're right about the squib, and you almost have to do it rather than risk the long run back.
Auburn not content to take a knee. Tim Carter with immediately. And that will end the first half. Jason Campbell and Auburn with a 50-yard touchdown run from Cassinius Moore. They're counting for 138 on the ground, only 19 through the year. Mississippi State, the opposite. Tommy Tuberville with a 7-6 lead at the half. We send you back to Reese Davis.
All right, guys, entertaining first half. Mark May is here. Let's get right to it. At the Horseshoe, Northwestern hasn't won there since 1971, taking on Ohio State, tied at 7. Damian Anderson never fumbles. Oh, but he does if Will Smith gets him, the fresh prince of the Horseshoe, causing the fumble, and Mike Doss going in from 30 yards down, and the Buckeyes on top 14-7. Some of the games going on right now. Nebraska's having no trouble with the previously unbeaten Cyclones.
Well, they're heating up, particularly their running game. The offensive line is coming together, and they're able to run down the field, up and down the field. It's a track meet for Nebraska. All
right, we will keep you up to date on all of these games. Ole Miss with a 2-touchdown lead at the break on the road at Arkansas State. Still to come up on our halftime show, Oklahoma and Texas, the game that Chris Sims had been waiting for. Would it turn into a nightmare? Andre Woolfolk only played one way, played pretty well.
Sidelines, Mondays at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
You ready for a cold one?
Yeah.
It's cold. It's not Coors Light.
Coors Light, tasty.
You can drop in anytime. Be a winner. Take one. You are KG.
I am KG.
Bring me the win. Deliver the D.
The D's in the dime. Call an audible split belly.
Oh, man. Hey, who should I trade to get Pedro? You are smart.
I am smart. 30-10, 30-10. Where's Moss? There he is. 18 yards out. Get it straight.
What time is it?
It's time for me to kick you. I win. I'm sorry. Touchdown. You gotta believe, baby. Don't stop. Believe in yourself. I am powerful.
Sega Sports. Rated E for everyone. On October 26th.
I have this patient who claims to come from a planet he calls K-Pax.
It's about 1,000 of your light years away from here.
Open your mind.
You speak English so well.
You should try speaking
and change the way you look at the world.
Maybe you could show us how this light travel works. What do you mean he's gone?
Kevin Spacey. Jeff Bridges.
Your produce alone has been worth the trip.
K-Pax, rated PG-13. Starts October 26th.
You ready for a cold one?
Yeah.
It's cold, but it ain't Coors Light. Coors Light, tasty.
You don't date much, do you?
Glad to have you with us on the College Game Day halftime report. Auburn leading Mississippi State 7-6 at the break. Well, certainly the showdown in college football that everyone had anticipated on this Saturday. Oklahoma against Texas. After what happened last year, D.D. Lewis said, words can't explain how long we've been looking forward to playing Oklahoma. First quarter, Chris Sims. This was supposed to be Chris Sims' day, and this is a badly thrown ball that Andre Woolfolk picked off, and the score still remains scoreless.
He throws it underneath his receiver. In that situation, he's got to throw it over his receiver and let his receiver get the ball.
Texas playing some D2. Nate Hibble takes it right in the mustache from Marcus Tubbs. Jason White would have to come in to relieve Hibble, who took a pounding against K-State last week. This is a 4th and 2 play. White and Quentin Griffin on the option. They rip off 17. Still scoreless. A couple of plays later, a little speed option, and Quentin Griffin, who scored 6 touchdowns last year, gets one in this one.
And this is the biggest play of the game offensively for Texas. And you look right here, defensively for Oklahoma. A great blitz by their great safety. Right here over the top, Roy Williams hits Chris Sims. The ball slipped in the air. Interception, Oklahoma. That is the turning point of the game.
14-3 the final, and Mark, there are a lot of Roy Williams in the Big 12. That Roy Williams from Oklahoma is so good, he could coach the Kansas basketball team. That's how good he is. 8 tackles, a sack, an interception, and Sims not have a big day, threw 4 picks. And throughout the course of the season, Mark, we've kind of joked around because you've been with Sims, and all kidding aside, everything for Texas had been built toward this game, not only for Texas, but for Chris Sims. This was supposed to be the big game that he could win to get the Longhorns closer to a national championship. And he didn't play awful, but he certainly didn't play well.
He didn't. And for him to go up, step up to the plate, point to the outfield, and hit one out, he did not. His passes were poorly thrown. Mac Brown, the head coach, really kind of let him down, particularly in the third quarter when they had gotten away from the run. Everything was a pass. 3 and out, 3 and out. The defense comes back on the field. That's what hurt Texas today. But Chris Sims' passes, they were low. They were to the back of the receivers. They were too high for the receivers. He just wasn't on in the passing game today.
Yeah, you commented several times as we watched that game that he just wasn't hitting guys in stride. And maybe for Texas, who had Rose Bowl dreams coming into this season, the most pertinent fact about this game, other than just losing to Oklahoma, is the fact that now they have to hope that the Sooners will lose twice and that they win out in order to get to the Big 12 championship game. In the SEC, Georgia going on the road to Knoxville, a place they hadn't won since Herschel Walker's first game as a college running back. Herschel Walker came in 1980 and led the Dogs to a title. The 16-15 game then, and it was a similar thriller in this one. 20-17, balls down. Casey Clausen screams. Travis Stevens gone.
Pick up the blockers, get to the sidelines, and make it a foot race. That's exactly what he does with the football. Beautiful score, well-executed screen.
In addition to the 62-yard touchdown there, Stevens 176 yards rushing, but David Green wasn't finished. Throwing to his tight end, Randy McMichael, who went over 100 yards receiving. Did I mention Randy McMichael? Down to the 7. Dogs, timeout. 10 ticks to go. David Green, Karan Haynes. Touchdown, Georgia. Into the checkerboard square, and the Dogs under Mark Richt get it done in Knoxville, 26-24. Green had never been in that stadium. Richt had never been in that stadium. Walked in front of 107,000 and walked back to Athens with a win.
Biggest win in the Mark Richt era, obviously, but Georgia goes until Tennessee and gets the biggest victory of the last couple of years. What I liked about the way they executed offensively, when they had to have it, they got it.
The Mighty Gators on the road in Baton Rouge. Their first road test. Rex chatting with the ball coach. First drive of the game. I don't even think the ball coach can find fault with this. Taylor Jacobs poured up 7-0. Second drive of the game. King Rex looking for Rashae Caldwell.
Touchdown pass again. A great move by Caldwell right across the middle. Makes one cut. He goes in for the score.
Rowan Davey threw a pick for LSU, and then here's Grossman, 2nd and 25. 2nd and 25 is not a problem. You have Rex Grossman and Jabbar Gaffney. Grossman, 22 of 32. 464 yards and 5 touchdowns to 464 in Gator record.
Steve Spurrier won't be completely happy. He threw 1 interception.
Also, now he's like 20 touchdown passes and 3 picks, 44-15. The final. Auburn leading Mississippi State 7-6 at the break. When we come back, we will talk Big 12 other than OU and Texas.
Look, I know Circuit City's doing this expo thing.
Jam-packed, 86,000 plus, Jordan-Hare Stadium, 7-6 Auburn. And just about ready for the second half with Phil Curry, Mike Golick, Dave Barnett. Both coaches had questions coming in. Jackie Sherrill's team does not look shell-shocked by the Florida debacle, and they've made this a game. Auburn, I think, still wondering, are the good players going to become a good team?
Auburn is showing a good running game right now, which is also controlling the ball. 18 carries for 124 yards, so they're taking care of business that way. But you know what? Mississippi State's hanging right with them. They're hanging around.
Yeah, and Mississippi State is getting wasted in the secondary again, but Jason Campbell, the young quarterback, number 17 for Auburn, hasn't been able to capitalize. If he airs it out, they've been in there in the locker room, you throw it a little bit deeper, son, we're going to score touchdowns big time.
On the ESPN2 game track.
Well, as we were talking about with that rushing game, Moore running, Johnson and that O-line blocking, they're tearing up the yards.
And here's an example of the deep ball underthrown with the receiver deeply behind the Mississippi State secondary.
More through the air for Madkin than for Campbell. Jason, 5 out of 8. And an interception, 33 yards. David Duval with the wind at his back to begin the second half. This is Pete Prather with a nice return, ended by Duval. And Tim Carter at the 40, 36-yard return. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Dave. Well, inside the Auburn locker room at halftime, it was so quiet you could hear a pin drop as Tommy Tuberville addressed his team. He said, defensive backs, we need to have more patience. I want you to calm down, but I want you to be more aggressive so we can get to their quarterback. He said the kicking game will be the deciding factor in this game, so no 15-yard penalties on kickoffs. He said it's time we play the second half like we know we can. Let's have patience. That's a sign of a good team, Dave.
All right, Michelle, and Mississippi State from the 41. Dante Walker begins the second half at tailback. Madkin throws into double coverage. This one is on the money to Justin Jenkins, one of his best passes of the night, and it's good for 10 yards.
And after Coach Tuberville's admonition, a low kick by Duval and promptly a 40-yard kickoff return. So they've got good field position, Mike, and this is what you don't want to do starting on defense to begin the third quarter.
No overthrow there by Madkin. Still a little high, but not an overthrow. Putting it in a nice spot. Good game.
Jenkins, their most athletic wide receiver, looked it there. He went in motion as Walker takes the toss and tripped up.
Number 3, Dante Walker.
It'll limit this game to about 2.
Hit first by number 30.
And what Michelle said, that Coach Tuberville said, Bill, is probably one of the hardest things to do, especially for corners. You want them aggressive, but you want them controlled. That controlled aggression thing, because they'll play off, they'll play a little more zone. So it's that fine line of how much you jump around and take a chance as opposed to not giving up a big play.
Exactly.
Nothing fancy. Mississippi State pretty much lets you know when they're going to run and when they don't. They will pass out of the eye this time. And again, it's Jenkins. Same pass that got him the first down. Roderick Hood brings him down a yard short this time.
Well, what do you tell him, Bill? That's Roderick Hood again out there, playing off the completion underneath him right before the sticks. He's kind of in that limbo, in that area of to jump that route, to hit the receiver, to time it, or to make sure he doesn't give up anything.
Well, he played that well. You hit it when he catches it and hope you can knock it loose.
The early play in the third quarter, 3rd and 1 Bulldog. Dante Walker will have the first down. Running behind Derek Thompson, Courtney Lee, the left side up front, down to Michelle.
Well, just so that you guys know, Tommy Watson, the center for Mississippi State, is playing with an injured big toe. He had it x-rayed at halftime. Those x-rays were negative. They thought it was broken, so he's in there playing on it hurt, but no break in the bone.
Watson, who moved from starting right guard, where he started every game last year, to center this year as a senior. Not much experience behind him. Walker. Open field tackle by Hood. And that goes 11. Could have gone a lot more. And Dante Walker looking spry to begin the third quarter.
Nice job by Watson here, the center, number 66, formerly a guard. Understands the principles of keeping his feet moving and working in concert with the man next to him. He got a little help from Courtney Lee. Walker saw that opening and broke it back for a first down gain.
Last year backing up Miller, almost 800 yards. Second straight start with Miller bothered by the ankle. And the fullback, Darnell Jones, who got his first start with Mississippi State, redshirt freshman, hit at the 26 by Mark Brown.
You always look at that drive, first drive of the third quarter. Who comes out with that fire again, who maybe adjusted better. You find out a lot of those answers in the first drive. A good mixture right now of run and pass with Mississippi State on their offense.
The good mixture is because of Madkin's improved accuracy.
2nd and 9. Walker looking for a cutback angle. Not really much there. Let's check in on some Auburn defensive injuries, Michelle.
Yeah, part of the reason that Auburn may not be able to adjust as well defensively, Mike, is because they've lost 2 starters. Tavarius Pounds and Tavares Robinson, both of whom were injured in the first half, are done for the day with their respective injuries, so they will not be seeing those starters again tonight.
Boy, that's a huge point, both on the field and off, because Coach Tuberville pointed out these two had become somewhat leaders of the team over the last couple of weeks, so that could really, really hurt.
And Rashad Walker Rover just limped off for Auburn. But for the time being, they've lost another one. Blitz coming 3rd and 7. Draw play Walker. Straight call. Walker almost takes it all the way in. It's 18 yards to the 6, 1st and goal.
Offensive coordinator Sparky Woods for Mississippi State understands the tendencies of Auburn. When you're inside the 20-yard line, they're going to come after you. It's sort of a feast or famine thing on the draw here.
And here comes the blitz, and Dontarius Thomas, the linebacker, 54, you're going to see him coming right up the gut. He's got a chance. He got to react a little bit on that blitz. It's hard to do to break down. He just gets an arm on it, and Walker's able to run right through it.
Walker out, Miller in on 1st and goal. DeCenzo Miller to the 2. And Ronaldo Atimi, the backup for Rashad Walker, injured a couple of plays ago, made that tackle.
Well, Bill, huh?
What we're seeing, yeah, this is a different offensive line, led by Watson, Tucker, Fairchild, Lee, Derek Thompson. They're knocking those blue shirts back, and that's something they weren't doing much in the first half.
Miller to the goal line. Did he get in? No, not quite. About 18 inches away.
Well, I tell you, what a great point by Michelle, the man in the middle, Tavarius Pounds, who was out. He was the 2nd leading tackler on this team. You see some of these runs going up the middle, right where Pounds had been lining up.
Mark Brown's doing a good job, though. He's got 9 tackles, including that last one. There was a stone job at the goal line. 52, Mark Brown has the full load on his shoulders now. Gut check time.
Triple stack in the eye with 2 tight ends. Walker, no! He lost the foot. Carlos Rogers, with a quick read, recognizes, gets up under Walker, and undercuts him at the 1, and he's coming off hurt. But he just made the biggest defensive play of the night for Auburn.
Carlos Rogers, number 14, just a little fella from Augusta, Georgia, and a true freshman. Hadn't had a chance to be in the weight program, so he's a good football player. He's tough, but he's a little bit vulnerable here, and he turns his head and hits on the point of his shoulder.
Mississippi State calls time to discuss what to do on 4th and goal at the 1.
Discover a sensation as real as the streets. Mountain Dew Code Red.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation to America's relief efforts until we reach our goal of $5 million. Just by doing what you do every day, you can help the victims and families of September 11th. To find out more, call 1-800-DISCOVER or go to discovercard.com.
Hand me the remote.
You call this adventure? Take a road trip. Visit new places. Meet new people. Try foods you never thought you'd eat.
We need that.
Wild yak is good. If you can catch one.
Fairfield Inn Come Out and Play rates make this a great weekend for a road trip.
Is that scarf from a wild yak? No, blow dryer.
Call 1-800-MARRIOTT. Fairfield Inn. Your Marriott awaits.
Now through Monday at Zales, we're having a diamond sale where you can save up to 50% and more throughout the store. Like this 6-carat diamond bracelet, just $9.99. Our lowest price ever. At Zales, the diamond store.
Look, this is a dirty fuel injector. This is a clean one. As you can see, cleaner works better. That's why I use STP fuel injector cleaner in my car. I add STP every time I change my oil. STP, it's basic car maintenance.
Mississippi State never hesitated. They go for it on 4th and goal at the 1. Dante Walker guaranteed lead. If you take the field goal, Mississippi State wanted more.
You got to challenge your men. Right here is a gut check line. Whichever one moves the other back wins. And the battle goes to the blue shirts. The linebackers are able to step up and clean up on Walter because their D-line, Dontarius Thomas right there, is able to go up and over from deep in Mississippi State territory.
Go from their own one to Phineas Moore. What about that decision? You're going to make a field goal barring a disaster.
When I'm talking about Mississippi State territory, I'm talking behind their line of scrimmage. Obviously, it was deep in Auburn's field position territory, but that was just a gut check, and you got to go for it on fourth and one at the goal line. You got to do it.
Absolutely disagree, Bill. We were yelling, talking about this in the break to each other. You get the 3. You just had 2 plays to get a yard.
Hey,
you didn't get it.
Both these coaches are trying to get defining moments from their team.
Defining moment is get a lead. Get a lead. That's a defining moment.
You don't take the field goal.
The defense maybe just had a defining moment. More to the 10 to Reese Davis.
All right, Dave, Northwestern and Ohio State at the shoe. It was Jonathan Wells for Ohio State against Northwestern. Steve Belisari completed his first couple of passes of the night on this drive, and Jonathan Wells going in again, and the Buckeyes on top of the Wildcats, 21-7 late in the first half.
Here's a 3rd and 1 Auburn. Need to get just across their own 11. They're going to punt out of their end zone. They will have to kick. Mississippi State's defense comes up. Josh Morgan from safety to knock down Ksenius Moore.
And as we spin forward on however that call went, it went the way it did. They didn't make it. What a great job by the Mississippi State defense forcing the punt here, because they're going to get excellent field position again for their offense.
That's the other part of the reason that you don't go for the field goal. If you do get stuffed, your defense goes in, stones them, you get the ball back at midfield, and you come right back down the field. That's the attitude that they're trying to develop, and both sidelines are trying to teach their team through these experiences.
You and I are going to go at it after the game after this one.
For you and I?
Yeah.
Here's the ball. Mississippi State blocks the punt. They take over at the 11-yard line.
Jackie Sherrill told us Wednesday in the conference call, we have a very good chance to block a punt on Duvall.
And Gabe Wallace, 27 from Mississippi State, the man who breaks through.
Duvall is a 3-step punter, and anytime you face a 3-step punter, you always have the block on.
Well, we got some kind of conversation going on here.
There's a lot of eavesdroppers in blue jerseys out there, and they all seem happy. Face mask, Mississippi State. Now we'll find out when it happened.
Wondering we were going to need another flag.
You don't have to wait long. Yeah, this has got to be after the block punt, and it's just a matter of where they're going to spot the ball.
And Mississippi State averaging 9 penalties a game, and Auburn 8. Oh, they're going to say before?
Yep.
Wow.
It's going to be a first down.
Prior to the kick, face mask, personal foul on the defense. The penalty will be 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
I don't know if I've ever seen face masking before a punt. I doubt Jackie Sherrill ever had.
It almost had to be grabbing and pulling somebody out of the way to allow the punt blocker to run through.
Exactly.
We couldn't see it, but it almost has to be something like that to be conspicuous enough to be called.
Let's see how much that changes things. And the first down give to Brandon Johnson will get him 9 yards.
Well, I love Noah Mazzone's story, the offensive coordinator for Auburn. He said, Johnson never says a word, but in practice the other day, he said, Coach, he said, yep. He said, I'm averaging 9 yards a carry. Give me the ball. He said, that's the only thing the kid said to me since he came here. So I think I'll give him the ball.
Just
you know what he made? You know what he made?
He got 9 yards.
9 yards.
He's a man of his word, huh?
This time more. And boy, the Bulldog defense not backing down after the bad break. Jason Clark knifing up to get more for no gain.
They're a fun defense to watch, and you love to play defense for Joe Lee Dunn because of the movement. You can move around as long as you're in your responsibility or your position by the snap. Guys are moving around, guys are faking, guys are disguising. It's a fun defense to play in.
They have yet to convert a third down. Good at it coming in, but they've been 0 for tonight. This is about a foot they need here. And Campbell, I don't think will get it on a sneak. In fact, he may lose a couple of inches. He definitely is not going to be spotted with a first.
Bill, as simple as a quarterback sneak is, tell us why that was an ugly one.
There is a very simple principle for a quarterback sneak. You get your shoulder pads down behind those big rear ends and you drive your legs, and Jason Campbell has not learned how to do that yet. He hesitated, tried to duck in the gap there. Joe Lee Dunn had his men shooting the gaps. No gain. Fourth down, punt the ball.
Yep, he did. He hesitated when he took the snap. I mean, that was a bad thing to do for a quarterback sneak.
You punt the ball right here.
Well, they don't have the punter on the field. Maybe they try and dry him off sides.
Yep.
Call time and then punt. Right. Nope, they're going for it, and Brandon Johnson gets it.
Oh, the big guy. The tough guy from Bayou Labatre.
So they both had chances to make statements. Mississippi State stopped on 4th and goal at the 1 on their own 35-yard line in a one-point game. Auburn goes for it, 4th and 1, and they get 2.
In principle, a very poor percentage call by Tommy Tuberville, but again, both these coaches are trying to teach these young squads how to win in tough situations.
Again, down to the eye, and Lorenzo Diamond in motion, and now Campbell ready to roll. Throw on the run, incomplete through the hands of Diamond. You got to figure he is missing Robert Johnson, who last week Campbell found 4 times, 56 yards, and a touchdown against Vanderbilt. Sprained his ankle in Tuesday's practice, out of tonight's game. So it's Diamond, who has 2 catches all year, and the true freshman Jay Ratliff, the only other tight end.
The reason that Campbell was able to get his shoulders around and throw this ball is because of number 79, Mike Fusillo, right here, the big guy, moving his feet, staying in front of the defender, giving his quarterback plenty of space to turn and throw. Nice job.
This is Chris Butler, who gets his first carry. The flag down.
There's the flag.
Harry O'Hagan in on another stop.
Again, he's moved back to linebacker. Was linebacker, now they've been playing mostly at DN, now back to linebacker. This one's going against Auburn. And they're going to decline it.
Legal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. The play is declined. Be 3rd down.
And one definition of insanity is to keep doing what you've been doing and expect different results. Auburn's made that kind of mistake 3 times in this football game. That's insane. You cannot have that.
Think they'll practice that?
Gee.
The coach is coming out in them days.
Always there beneath the surface. Campbell wiped out. Ivan Billy with a head of steam. Junior from Philadelphia, Mississippi, at 100% of his, whatever his speed is. If he's a 5 flat 40, that's what he ran, about 5 flat to get right in Jason Campbell's helmet.
Well, the thought process here is bring everybody, make him get rid of the ball quick on a short pass, and then we'll make the tackle. Well, didn't even get the pass off. They get the sack. Good percentage blitz there by Joe Lee Dunn.
This is a fake. This is the fake.
Well, they're on 32. We'll see how confident they are in the fake. Duval in a foot race. Gets the first down. Oh, they're going to mark him short by a foot. He's short by a foot at the 46.
They changed the formation, and you could tell that it was going to be a fake. It obviously caught Mississippi State off guard, but somebody recovered quickly enough to make the play.
Wow, a half a yard short. What a great call, Bill. Nice eagle eyes there calling that one.
Well, I saw it in practice, and when they changed their formation, they've got 3 up on the line of scrimmage over here for blocking purposes. And there is a throwback capacity off the same fake with a receiver to the other side. But Duval decided to go ahead and make the run. He thought he could make it, and you give your punter that kind of leeway.
Julius Griffith got to Duval just short of the first. We are seeing some dice rolling coaches. And around Ray Bivens. Gets outside, and then Terrence Thomas gets it.
Yep, and Roderick Hood left a significant piece of his equipment on the field over there.
Yeah, he did. And if he does that anymore, he's going to have to go to the dressing room to recover on this one. Number 36 for Auburn is right there. Break down, make the play. Nope. Puts his head down, leans forward, and Ray says, see ya.
9-yard gain. Miller is the tailback. You just see coaches not afraid to take chances. Mostly they're not working out. Now Madkin going deep for Justin Jenkins. He's got it. Touchdown. 37 yards, beating Carlos Rogers.
Carlos Rogers looking at the ref saying he pulled on my shoulder to go inside of me, but coach, that was one of those situations where the receiver looked back, saw the ball first, and was able to adjust to it before the defensive back. See, he looked back first, saw where it was going. Rogers takes his eyes off of him. That's when makes the inside move for the score.
Rogers is a good-looking freshman corner. He actually had a hand on the football as it arrived. He didn't play that poorly. It was just a wonderful throw and catch.
5-point game. They go for 2. Second touchdown catch for Jenkins, sophomore from Pearl, Mississippi. And Madkin out of the gun to the end zone. They get the 2-point conversion from the same guy that got him 6. Jenkins this time beating Roderick Hood, 14-7. And Mississippi State trying to make it 5 in a row over Auburn. Next to Justin Jenkins has a lead.
When they need to get it fast, count on express mail from the U.S. Postal Service. The United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere.
It's NHL Hits with new scorching slap shots, bone-crushing hits, and glass-shattering action from the NHL's experts of impact. Rated everyone.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Here. I hope no one ate my lunch. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Me, you can dunk, but you can't dip. Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about?
No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip.
This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Smash mouth football right up until kickoff.
A little football amongst friends. Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday mornings at 11 Eastern. Only on ESPN.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by the first one-calorie cola that tastes more like a regular. Pepsi One. This one's just right. And by Discover Card for the slightly smarter consumer.
One of the louder crowds you'll ever find in college football. Stunned right now. Very quiet. Mississippi State has taken its first lead. 14-7 Madkin, 37 yards to Jenkins, and then again Jenkins in the two-point conversion. Short high kick, returned by Hood. In theory, anyway. And they'll start from the 31. I told you Mississippi State has done almost all its scoring in second halves this year. Auburn, on the other hand, has been very clearly a first-half team. Outscored 67-44 in their second halves. Bulldogs now 44 second-half points, only 13 in all their first halves combined, and that's being borne out again tonight. 4 wides and more. Told where to get by Campbell, right back behind him. Where he can get the give, head left, break a couple of tackles, and finally be dragged down by Mario Hagan after a 10-yard gain. What's up with Ole Miss, Reese Davis?
Well, Dave, the Rebels against Arkansas State going towards Sanford again. Sanford going into the end zone, and Eli Manning and the Rebels in control of this thing 28-10. They're about halfway through the fourth quarter in a shootout in the MAC. Two of the top 5 rushing offenses in America. Toledo and Ohio tied at 41 under 2 to go.
Vicinius Moore, who just gained 9.5 yards, holding his helmet as he comes off and is replaced by Carnell Williams. Williams dragging the pencil for the first down. Eugene Liger. Moore is the offense. At least he's the running game tonight for Auburn.
If you burn Joe Lee Dunn with a one-back on one play, you're not going to burn him again. He brings Liger right off the corner for a hit deep in the backfield.
First and 10 at the Auburn. Boy, Cassidy is in agony right now. Working on the neck. It looks like right down on the Auburn bench. First down and 10. With the freshman Carnell Cadillac Williams still the tailback. And Campbell going to a wide open Tim Carter out at the 37 of the Bulldogs. 22 yards to the leading receiver out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Marcel Willis ran the deep route for Auburn. The Carter cut underneath. But look at first the protection that Campbell has. You never know where they're coming from. That's the play before Cadillac Williams running the ball.
And Williams again up the middle, and Pig Prather comes up, grabs a leg, and hangs on.
Cadillac, nice nickname.
Brought down by Pig. Another nice nickname.
Come on, Pig. You got that in what? Pig Prather in elementary school? Because he ran. That's how he ate, taking everybody's food.
Teacher said that that's how he ate.
He was just a little fella.
Man after my own heart.
He's not a big guy now, but he plays big. He doesn't run like a pig.
I get called Pig for a different reason.
Edward Prather. And I don't know if anybody's heard a whistle now. They finally do.
Well, what a smart J.C. Campbell. How about him? He wanted to play to keep going. Take advantage of a free play, but
he's a QB. Well, guys like Mario Hagan make big plays because every now and then they gamble. That was one that didn't work.
Offsides on the defense. Contact prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
To Reese Davis.
And another update for Ole Miss, and that Rebel lead is shrinking. Jonathan Adams, who was a highly touted running back recruit a couple of years ago, landed at Arkansas State, goes in easily, and is 28-17 in the fourth now.
14-7 Mississippi State here. Maybe the last play of the third quarter. Maybe another flag or two. Campbell to Carter. Tried to get under Demetric Wright, and even with a nice dive, can't come up with it.
That's going to be offsides again. Got a player rolling around hurt down there for Mississippi State.
And it's Hagan. Who led the SEC in tackles last year as a second-team All-America.
And I tell you what, Auburn's doing the right thing in this with this kind of a defense.
Offsides on the defense. Penalty's 5 yards. Will be a first down.
If you know that the way this Joe Lee Dunn defense comes at you, mix up the count.
Mix up the count and throw the deep ball. That was a little bit better throw. A nice job of coverage by Mississippi State in this case. Demetric Wright had good coverage that time on Tim Carter, but he may not have it next time. Carter made a nice move to come back inside and try to leap and make the catch, but you got to test him deep. You had him beat deep 3 times in the first half, and Auburn quite wisely is coming back to that, and they'll keep trying it.
Well, we saw Moore come off a couple plays ago. Michelle, what do you know about him?
Well, he got his bell rung is the easy way of putting it. They're concerned about a concussion. That's why the medical staff is asking him a lot of questions, looking closely at his eyes and so forth, Dave.
Got 138 yards and a touchdown tonight. Williams not doing badly behind him. And Noel Mazzone says, you've got to give it to a guy named Cadillac. Give him a chance to live up to that nickname.
Yeah, well, he's got those pads down. It doesn't matter what his nickname is when he's got those pads down.
End of the third quarter, Auburn will have to come from behind at home to end the 4-game losing streak to Mississippi State.
The NHL is back. ESPN Wednesday Night Hockey. Wednesdays only on ESPN.
Why don't you get us something to cool this fire down?
I got just the thing. I got too low for that fire.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
That's not that bad.
The Home Depot is driving down the cost of home improvement. Now is the time to buy carpet at the Home Depot. Choose from over 3,000 styles, colors, and textures. And right now, get the carpet pad free with installation. Plus, you'll have no payments and no interest if paid by spring 2002 when you use your Home Depot consumer credit card. America's best brands, all at the guaranteed low price. You're going to be floored by the savings at the Great Carpet event, going on now at the Home Depot.
The first oil filter ever made back in 1923 wasn't called an oil filter. It was called a Purolator. Today, every car on the road relies on technology pioneered by Purolator. And the same company that invented the oil filter just keeps reinventing it. So that for anyone who cares enough to change their own oil, Purolator continues to mean pure oil then, pure oil now, pure oil later.
It was our first house, and shortly before my parents' grand inspection, there was a tiny problem. I told my State Farm agent I had to get it fixed fast.
When you choose State Farm's Premier Service Claims Program, there's no calling around for estimates. You just go straight to a participating contractor, and they'll guarantee their work.
So this is it?
It's just that simple.
Why they don't build them like this anymore?
No, they don't.
Premier Service, just one more way. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You go fishing every weekend, right? You never catch a thing. It's not enough. Ottoman! What is going on? Armoire! Furniture. Why is there furniture? Chafing dish. Chafing dish.
I thought I told you to strap everything down.
Coffee table!
Morning commute. On the wings of Goodyear.
Ready for the fourth quarter, 14-7 Bulldogs. Let's go down to Michelle Tafoya.
Tommy Tuberville, Mississippi State took the lead. Once you gamble with the fake punt, how do you counter now?
Well, the thing we've got to do is keep her from guessing her snap count. What we're doing is we're going on long counts and trying to get them off sides, kind of slow their rush down so we can get the ball off on pass.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Okay.
All right, Tommy Tuberville with his thoughts coming into the fourth quarter. Cassinius Moore, who had 104 yards in the first quarter alone, including the 50-yard Auburn touchdown. They're getting checked out for the possible concussion. 2nd and 5. Williams went out of the backfield. They give it to fullback, and Brandon Johnson first down inside the 15. What a third quarter. Decisions. And some went better than others. Mississippi State decided to go for 4th and goal at the 1. Went nowhere.
Tommy Tuberville decided to go for it from the fake punt. Damon Duval almost got to the 6, but another daring gamble.
And Mississippi State takes advantage of that. Wayne Matkins, beautiful pass to Justin Jenkins for the score and the lead, something they haven't had in a while.
Also hit Jenkins for the 2-point conversion. Williams Coming right up, Corey Banks at the 12. Now, what's the situation with Mario Hagan, Michelle?
I am told by the training staff he has a sprained ankle. They're taping it up. They're going to see how he responds to that. His return right now is questionable, Dave.
Well, that's second-team All-America. They're having to do without right now.
He's getting ready to go. He's put the gloves back on. They're taping up. He'll give it a go.
Mario's coming back.
Yep.
It's just a feeling. Look at those eyes. I don't think he wants to stay over there.
He hates doing out as long as he's already had the 6. Second and 8. Again, Johnson, and ready for him this time. No gain, and Dorsett Davis. With 300-pound defensive tackle. Sherrill says he does things 170-pounders do. He's cut his body fat in half down to just 14%.
Yeah, he became a real workout warrior. Dropped about 20 pounds.
He also wants to be a mortician when he finishes football.
Well, because they never go out of business. That's exactly his reason.
He's got a good layaway plan.
He actually did say that. That's why.
I'm staying out of this.
Campbell, 3rd and 9. Backs up, fires for Carter in the end zone. It's tipped twice by the Dogs. Birdsong and Morgan both had a piece of it. Carter never sniffed it.
That was a little chancy right there. So they're going to get the field goal here, try and get 3 out of it, but he just kind of threw this one up, hoping his guy was going to come down with it. And Tim Carter. See, he's the slot, in and out route, and this ball just hangs up there. That could have been picked off.
Duvall to try a 30-yarder. 6 of 9 for the year coming in. This missed from 57 in the first half. This one, he does not miss. And Auburn gets 3. Early in the 4th, 14-10 Bulldogs.
Our new dish, the San Marino, is so popular that people want to meet us. Aldo is good at this. It makes me uncomfortable. It is better when I let the chicken and shrimp speak for me.
Tender grilled chicken and shrimp come together with a creamy herb sauce to create the San Marino. Romano's Macaroni Grill, run by chefs. That explains our food.
Excuse me, ma'am. May we help you cross?
Why, that was lovely, boys.
Scouting, where character counts.
Oh, I think I forgot my purse up there.
College Game Day, Thursday nights at 7 on ESPN.
It's the final Sunday of the regular season. Catch all the must-win action as ESPN2 follows the remaining playoff contenders. And see Bonds in his final at-bats of the season. Dodgers Giants at 4, plus other pennant race coverage. Sunday baseball presented by Nextel, Sunday on ESPN2.
Well, one of the top tailgating scenes in college football. Oh, Mike, you could just smell that, can't you?
Come back, Mike. Wait, Mike.
I got to go, guys.
No. Stay for the rest of the game.
I got to go.
On second thought, go ahead.
Hit by Duvall. And the Tommy Farrell return. 3rd tight end. Out to the 29-yard line. And, you know, there are coaches who are pretty handy with the barbecue, and Don Dunn would be one of those, defensive tackles coach. He and defensive ends coach Terry Price have won 2 barbecue world championships for their sauce at the World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off.
It's Terry's hat.
That's Big Bertha, the grill they're working on,
yes.
by the way.
Coach Price's hat that gets the job done.
We just lost Mike for the rest of the game. DeCenzo Miller. And another Ole Miss look, Reese Davis.
They look almost as good as those ribs, Dave. I'm sure Golick has sampled them by now. Ole Miss against Arkansas State. Where in the world could Eli Manning have learned that shoulder fake? Finds Chris Collins for the touchdown. Manning now 20 of 29 for unofficially 275 yards. It's 35-17. And Toledo won that shootout with Ohio 48-41. Tavares Bolden with a huge night throwing.
Miller gets 2, 2nd and 8. If he's lucky, gets 2 this time. Bill, I think we may have made a tactical error. We had Mike Golick's full attention, 100% concentration. Right. I doubt that we'll have it for the rest of the game.
I got a little drool on your shoulder right there. I apologize for that.
Just chewing on things up here. We got, not only do we have barbecue, though, we got a SEC rock'em sock'em football.
That's a fantastic game. You're absolutely right. So we'll wait till after the game before we eat.
That's what I hoped you'd say. On 3rd and 7 to screen for Justin Griffith, and he's tripped up at the 35 by Rashad Walker.
Boy, that'll make you sick when you have 2 blockers out, 1 defender, and that 1 defender gets you, Bill.
Well, the offensive lineman, Courtney Lee, and I must confess, we've all done it as O-lineman, number 74, is out there leading his man. He's lined up right there at the left guard. He's heading out there. He's supposed to run through the defender right here. He hesitates, and so the little defender comes up and makes the tackle like they always do.
They come after Crooked. Carter blocks it. Carter with the block, picked up by Alan Tillman to the 10 of Mississippi State. Donnie Young actually ending up with it. Tim Carter with the block, and the Tigers down 4, take over at the 10-yard line.
The block, he could have picked that off. The foot coming from the right of your screen. He could have almost taken that right off his foot and in. Nobody touching. That's just speed around the corner. Watch him keep his eyes on the ball. That's what you have to do when you're blocking the punt. Don't turn your head. Keep your eyes square on the ball. Put your hands in the way.
Well, Moore still being looked at, and Williams is still the tailback, in Mississippi State wants to call their 2nd timeout. 11:13 to go, maybe the game in the balance right now.
Okay, good news. That broadband thing we all want? Got it figured out. Honey, you call the phone company. Tracy, you're digging the trench, shovels in the garage. I'm going up on the roof to assess the satellite possibilities. Jimmy, check out these schematics. Appreciate it. Let's go!
We know how you feel, and that's why Circuit City offers one-stop high-speed internet access. You can find what's available where, compare options, and arrange installation. Circuit City, we're with you.
Oh, we can get broadband at Circuit City.
Hey, Daryl. Hey, how's it going, Dave? How am I doing? You're a natural. Hey, you got an oven in there, guys?
When you get that craving for Wendy's bacon mushroom melt.
That was close.
With 3 strips of bacon and mushrooms in a cheddar sauce, you just have to get one.
Hey, Dave, come on in. We got to go get lunch. I'm starting to get the hang of this. He says he's getting the hang of it.
Wendy's bacon mushroom melt. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one. Oh. Remember, Wendy's pickup windows open late, so you can eat great, even late.
Job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster.
Our John Shupin right on things down there. Near the hedge as Auburn will go 1st and goal at the 10.
They need to throw the football here. They're not going to be able to punch it in.
Well, they come out with no wideouts. They should drop it out slot right, and they will throw it. If Campbell can find anybody, instead he keeps and will lose a yard. They wanted to throw it. Lamar Jackson, though, coming up from linebacker.
It was the right strategy. They're not going to run the ball 3 times and knock it in from the 10-yard line. That's the way the game has been going. I think the young quarterback is just a little bit overcautious now, afraid of making a mistake. I couldn't see, obviously, whether he had anybody on that play. Mike, did you notice?
Well, I don't think he did because he had no receivers out there. Now, I'd be interested to see if they go on the long count here, trying to, again, get the offside.
Having trouble getting lined up.
And they're going to have to call time. All the receivers started left, and by the time they got to the right, time was waning. And you saw that Moore is still not allowed back in the game yet, although at least he's no longer on the bench getting tested, so that would seem to indicate that maybe he's past these guys. Let's send it down to Michelle.
Well, Dave, actually the latest is that Cassinius Moore has his helmet back on. Right now he's on the field in the huddle. He is available to come back into this game. Whether or not he will on this next play is up for grabs, but he is available once again, Dave.
Well, that's what it looked like. He was hopping up trying to get as close to the action without actually checking in as he could.
And Bill, this is a part of the game that's changed a lot since you and I have played. Well, a lot's changed since you played, like face masks and such, but that's a whole other story.
Now we've lost Bill for the night.
But really, the head injuries, I remember when we played, you got a hit in the head, you shook it out, you had a little headache, but you went back in and played, and there were no questions asked. They said, go on back in and play. It has really changed nowadays. They are very, very cautious if anybody gets a shot to the head.
Well, you're right, and that's what they should do, and we took a lot of chances, which probably explains a lot of your behavior and mine, frankly. Seriously, the head thing is just too serious, and it used to be looked at flippantly. If you got a concussion, it was almost a joke, and we'd laugh about it. It's not funny, and they're very careful, and that they must be. And he's not going back on the field, and then you just find yourself kind of hoping they'll give him a couple of days to make sure those cobwebs are cleared out and you don't risk him.
Not much at all through the air tonight for Jason Campbell and Auburn. Left. And keeping. Keep to the 6-yard line, and down is Jason Clark involved in that tackle. There was a pile up right at the 6-yard line. Campbell got corkscrewed into a number of bodies, and Clark on the bottom of that pile, face down.
Clark came in and I believe delivered the last hit, and he took the worst of it. Campbell, 6'4", about 220. Let's listen to this one. Wow. That was Prather that came in the end.
Oh, yeah, he gets hit by his own man. That's what happens. And actually, Jason Campbell did not take a hard hit. The 2 Mississippi State guys hit heads. Was that Pig Prather that collided?
Pig Prather came in with the shot and looked like he caught
Clark. Yeah.
Clark in the helmet.
Sometimes you get the hardest hits from your own teammate when you're trying to converge and make a play.
And Pig had no idea, of course, that there was anybody in any danger except for Campbell.
You just play hard. Pig plays aggressive, clean football. He always has. We've watched him many times, and just have to hope that this is a minor bell ring.
Back to the big one of the Big Ten tonight with Western Ohio State, Reese Davis.
Well, Dave, Ohio State is seizing control of this game. Lydell Ross had 124 yards last week, the most for a freshman since Robert Smith in 1990, doing a little juking and dancing into the end zone and behind that hand there, and the Buckeyes on top 28-7 early in the 3rd quarter, blowing out the Wildcats, and Ole Miss has now gone final. Big night for Eli Manning, 20 of 29, 274 yards and a couple of touchdowns. We will get you back out to Auburn and Mississippi State after the break.
There may never be a play in college football more memorable than the Doug Flutie to Gerard Phelan's fantastic finish when Boston College.
For a limited time only, order your free copy online at HOFN.org or call toll-free 1-866-END-ZONE.
This Craftmatic Model 2 electrically adjustable bed costs no more than many quality flatbeds. And when you buy selected ones with optional heat and built-in massage, you get this fabulous bonus, a 25-inch color TV absolutely free. In a Craftmatic bed, you adjust yourself into comfortable positions automatically. Call toll-free so we can mail you our adjustable bed catalog and a certificate for a free 25-inch color TV with bed purchase.
Call toll-free 1-800-344-8300.
To us, it's college football, but to the people of Texas A&M, it's a way of life. Sidelines, Mondays at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
We are back, man. That was possibly the finest rock and roll show I have ever seen. Ice Melt World Tour!
Wow. You mean the whole world?
Yeah. You're not, Gene. You're not. Paul, you guys aren't Kiss?
No, but we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Reese Davis, Mark May with you in the studio. Medical attendants down at Auburn still looking after Jason Clark, the Mississippi State player who was injured on that final play just a few moments ago, and we'll get you back down to Auburn in just a few moments. Let's get you up to date on a few scores from around the SEC. Earlier today, Georgia going into Knoxville, a huge defining win for Mark Richt, 26-24. David Green leading an exceptional drive in the final 45 seconds, Mark.
Well, not only David Green, their quarterback, their offensive line did a fantastic job of holding John Henderson, the returning Outland Trophy winner, out of the backfield, and did a great job on that last drive of giving him time to throw the ball downfield.
All right, Florida and LSU, and the old ball coach has been complaining about drop snaps because he can't find much else to complain about. 44-15, the Gators go to Auburn next week. And I'm told right now we are ready to go back down on the Plains. Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, and Mike Golick. Guys.
And Reese, they brought the stretcher out for Jason Clark, the sophomore linebacker from Starkville, who got his first career start last week against Florida. And they cart him off the field here, Jordan. Here, let's go down to Michelle.
Well, the reason they're carting him off, Dave, is not for anything particularly serious. He's just very dizzy, and head trainer Paul Mock didn't want him up and standing. They're taking him to the locker room to check on him, but they were smiling a little bit, joking with him. There seems to be the sense that it's not as serious as it looked, Dave.
He was moving. We saw that immediately after the hit, so first thing you look for, and that was okay. Now for Auburn, after about a 4-minute break. 3rd and goal, and Campbell keeping all the way. And Campbell to 2, but he was down. No fumble. 4th and goal from the 2 for the Tigers.
Now you kick the field goal. Well, Mike, you want to discuss all these things?
Well, it's a different situation, different scenario now. As we see the replay, this is a run all the way because the linemen are down the field blocking. You'll clearly see him down before the ball comes out. Knees are down. Ball hits the ground. The ground cannot cause the fumble. That's exactly what happened.
The goal is a 19-yarder for Duval.
Assuming he makes it now, then Auburn could win with a field goal.
Well, he just does. Wow. In.
Like my golf shot.
14-13. Ugh, too close for Tuberville.
Well, tomorrow night, Carolina coach George Seifert returns to San Francisco with his Panthers to take on Jeff Garcia and his former team, the 49ers. Mike Patrick, Paul McGuire, Joe Theismann have the call. And their coverage begins with NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern. Find out a little more about Clark. Michelle?
Well, as you saw, they took him off on the stretcher, but as we mentioned, not quite as serious as we thought it was going to be, Dave. They are now officially diagnosing this for Jason Clark as a mild concussion. Of course, he is out for the rest of the game, but a mild concussion, much better than it appeared moments before. But as you said, moving every limb, he's fine. It's the head they're concerned about, Dave.
All right, that's about as good as you could have hoped for after the kind of hit that Prather dealt out accidentally to his teammates.
It's a violent, physical game, and The injuries happen a lot. We're just hoping they happen. Everybody's okay. And we're happy in that situation he was.
Jason will get the pig man aside, though, and have a discussion about where we throw our bodies around. Let's be careful that we're going to hit the other team next time. The pig does deliver a blow. He had a nice kickoff return the last shot at it, too.
9:44 to go. The ball's just getting Auburn within a point at 14-13. Prather is deep along with Fred Reed. And this is Reed bringing it out from the yard deep. And back to Columbus for a Reese Davis update.
And Dave, a horseshoe-sized can of whooping is being applied to Northwestern's backside. Already 28-7. Steve Belisari to Michael Jenkins, 47 yards. That would set up yet another Jonathan Wells touchdown. I wish that guy would bring his hands down. 35-7 Buckeyes.
Has to be the first time ever Ohio State is drilling Northwestern at home, and we're all surprised.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
Ain't life interesting? So is this game.
Dante Walker, no gain. Rashad Walker coming up from Rovers.
You think going back to what Ohio State's doing, they slip up against, they lose to UCLA. While Northwestern and Michigan were tied for the Big Ten lead. They take care of Northwestern. Of course, they have Michigan at the end of the year, so they can get back in a position of controlling things.
Control in the SEC West right now belongs to Auburn, the only unbeaten in that division, 2-0. Preseason, they were the 4th pick. Mississippi State was second behind LSU, which lost to Florida today in Baton Rouge. Terrell Brindle, very quiet for the leading receiver coming in. Ontarius Thomas bringing him down. Just his second catch in the West. Auburn, the defending champs. Alabama, Ole Miss, both with 1 loss. LSU, Mississippi State, both with 2. We said at the beginning, there's plenty of precedent for a West champion to have 2 conference losses. No one's ever made it to the SEC title game with 3 conference losses, and if the Bulldogs can't hang on here, they will be 0-3. Griffith, the fullback, and he's going to be really close, but I think short.
He is going to be short by about 6 inches.
Dontarius Thomas met him nose to nose at the line of scrimmage, and here again, the offensive lineman got knocked back as opposed to knocking the defenders back. That allows those linebackers a place to get their feet set and smash the running back.
They're bringing in the change, but Mississippi State was already running their punt team out there. They know. They don't have it.
You say 6 inches?
6 inches. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, my God.
About 6 inches.
You know, I almost want to be wrong just to be wrong. Just to be wrong on purpose once.
Bill, has he ever been wrong?
Not in his mind.
Now, we'll see if Jared Cook can avoid Tim Carter. Remember what happened last time they met? Carter blocked every bit of it. Donnie Young picked it up. Auburn did have to settle for the field goal and much better protection this time. Hood. Julius Griffith once, but not twice. 7:57 to go. A 48-yarder this time from Jared Cook.
Nice wrench work, Chief. If more men would heed the call of the Y chromosome, maybe more of us would have 3 such faucets at our fingertips. Hot. Cold. And Miller High Life.
Having fun yet? Well, we got your fun at Dave & Buster's. Enjoy lunch or dinner in our grand dining room, a quiet oasis where the fun is in the dining. Plus amazing simulators, games of skill, and winners at every one. Come see us. We're waiting on you. Dave & Buster's.
Big time fun!
Sunday on ESPN Classic. When a baseball scout takes a trip south of the border, the last thing he expects to find is baseball greatness.
What do you think, Nebraska? Want to be a New York Yankee?
But when he gets there, he faces some big league problems.
I'm not crazy!
Brendan Fraser stars in a real classic, The Scout. 9 Eastern Sunday, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you. And by Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Living Auburn history, the Lovelace Museum here on campus. Here, Tommy Tuberville has been very strong here at home, unbeaten, but the 9-game home winning streak in jeopardy. Under 8 minutes to go. Swing pass is incomplete. Carter couldn't bring it in, a little bit low. And Ksenius Moore is back on the field. 9-2, games decided by 3 points or less. But here's another benchmark for his teams. If they score 20 or more, almost unbeatable, 16-1. If they don't get 20 points, 1-10.
And you scheme all week long to get the ball to your fastest man, Tim Carter. Tommy was very animated about getting the ball in his hands, and he drops the quick pitch.
Campbell, well protected. That time Carter could not have been more open, and he hangs on despite a huge hit by Corey Banks.
Well, actually, he did not hang on, Dave, but it came back down on his chest. He caught it twice. The ball was dislodged. Carter had fantastic concentration and pulled the thing back in as he hit the ground.
Good route here, what they're trying to... The outside receiver did the in, and then Carter did the out. Gave himself a little bit of space in front of the corner. Look at that, the ball did get knocked out and dropped right into his hand.
Williams. Well, that's some leg drive. Head to the line of scrimmage. He gets about 5 out of it. Here's how the Carter play ended.
Had it. Doesn't have it. Great hit by Banks. Concentration.
Another reason that you wrap up when you tackle. You wrap up and pull his arms in. He can't do that.
He's got 7 cousins. Would you like to know their names?
Sure.
Dwight Gooden, Gary Sheffield, Ozzie Newsome, Darren Nelson, former Stanford and Viking great, Carlos Carson, former LSU star, is just among his family tree. Williams now. No way to reverse speed at 45.
You got to make All-American to go to a family reunion.
Well, how about those family reunions? They need tickets for those.
Wow. Wersett Davis up for the stop, and this will be 3rd and long coming for Auburn.
Player down.
That is the tight end, Lorenzo Diamond. Junior from Biloxi, Mississippi. He'd like to win this one more than most. And remember, they're already short at tight end. Robert Johnson, coming off the best game of his young career, out tonight, sprained ankle. Their second leading receiver for the year. That leaves him with true freshman Jay Ratliff, who was only getting a few snaps per game in the first month. Did Williams hang on to this?
38 after 45.
Oh, no, he did
that
not.
ball's out.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great camera work down there, gang.
And that's a birdsong recovery.
Great job by our camera people.
And they let it go for Auburn. 3rd and 8. They're going to call time. Their second. Each team with one left. real lucky they even can have a 3rd and 8.
You know, officials train and work, and these guys make a remarkably high percentage of proper calls, but you really shouldn't miss that one. That ball was out.
Let's go down to Michelle.
Well, Dave, obviously Auburn's biggest rival is Alabama, so that game may be the most important of the season. But Noah Mazzoni says beating Mississippi State is right up there. Remember, Tommy Tuberville and his staff came to Auburn from Ole Miss. That's the ultimate foe of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And the rivalry is still strong between these coaching staffs. As Mazzoni put it, this one is a little more personal and important for our coaches, and you can really get a feel for that. The tension is high on both of these sidelines when you look at the coaching staffs.
7 coaches came over with Tommy Tuberville from Mississippi, I believe.
That's right, something like that.
A lot. Tuberville before that, 4 years at Ole Miss, assisted with 3 national championship Miami Hurricane teams for both Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson. And now 3rd and 8 after their timeout. 6:33 to go.
At the 45.
Johnson and Williams in the eye behind Campbell.
There was no movement on the defense that time. He's still checking into something else.
And they're still trying to get organized and get their first 3rd down conversion. 0 for their first 10. Campbell won't get it off. As Connor Stevens wraps him up for a loss at the 39.
Connor Stevens beat the guy that has had such a good game. Brandon Johnson, number 45, right here is going to step up to block. He's trying to block on Connor Stevens, but Connor's just a little too much for him. He beats him inside, and he's right in the quarterback's face.
And Kelly and company jumping on. One more look at it. After this hit, Campbell still down.
You know, that's a matchup. Every time on defense, you should win. Defensive end against running back. I know we've been talking about Brandon Johnson and his run blocking, but when you have to take on a DN and pass blocking, it's a different story. He looks to be fine. It's Mississippi State defense, guys. Hey, you know where they're coming from sometimes, and they're getting it done.
Well, I can tell you've been down here several days. It's now become this Mississippi State defense. Mississippi.
Mississippi?
Yes, sir. You sounding local.
Duvall very low. And that nearly hit Carter before it bounces back to Walker. They will down it at the 25, only a 35-yarder. Jordan Hare Stadium seen a good one, 14-13. Mississippi State. 6 minutes to go, and they'll take over at their 25-yard line. Jackie Sherrill has won 4 straight from Auburn. Last year, 17-10. And a defensive struggle here tonight. Those of you watching Northwestern and Ohio State on ESPN, welcome to Jordan Country. Jordan Hare Stadium, Auburn, Alabama. 1-point game. Mississippi State 14-13 over the Auburn Tigers. And Wayne Madkin, the winningest quarterback in school history, has a 1-point lead. Second down and 10 coming. Mississippi State from their 25-yard line. Jackie Sherrill is trying to keep his streak alive, and Tommy Tuberville for Auburn trying to keep his home streak alive. Something had to give. Tuberville has been tough to beat here at Auburn, and Sherrill has come from behind with the Bulldogs leading by 1.
Well, there's a timeout. Mississippi State.
And that's their last timeout, and they didn't want to have to use it here. 5:53 to go.
At 25, I wanted to make vice president. At 35, I wanted to make my first million. At 45, I wanted to make enough to buy the company. Now all I want is to make it around this track 0.2 of a second faster.
At Lincoln Financial Group, We provide clear, understandable, customized solutions to help you manage, protect, and enjoy the work of a lifetime. Lincoln Financial Group. Clear solutions in a complex world.
From the victory at Fort McHenry that inspired our national anthem to the struggle at Antietam that helped preserve our nation, Maryland is where American history...
After the timeout, 2nd and 10 now, Mississippi State. They have no more timeouts. We've got almost 6 minutes still to go. They give to DeCenzo Miller, and a quick reacting Mark Brown brings him down, but he gains 4. 3rd and 6 coming.
Now, I would have thought, and I understand they went for the big play on the first play going deep, but remember the first drive of the 3rd quarter for Mississippi State. Balance, out routes, running, controlled, got it down the field. We haven't seen an out route, I don't think, since. This would be a great time for it. Little 6 to 8 yard out route, get the first down, move the change, and get some balance back.
Well, Auburn's taking a lot of that away by their coverage. They've been in hard corners. You don't get out routes on that, but maybe here they'll have a shot at one.
They got it now. The corner's off at the bottom of the screen.
Only 3 out of 12 on 3rd down. Carlos Dansby with a blitz. Metcalf down.
Carlos Dansby plays the whip position for Coach Tommy Tuberville's defense. Lines up in a variety of places, anywhere from a hash safety to a blitzing linebacker, and this time he's coming right off the corner and makes the big play at the most critical time. Beats that tight end like a tied-up goat.
High snap, Garrett Cook. Very low. There's a marker down, and this will be killed at 38. I hope you're not speaking from experience on that.
I've never been a tight end.
I tell you what, Bill, you got some lines. But boy, that was a great rush. He hit him with a head slap just about. A nice hit on the shoulder.
Well, it was on the shoulder, and all day Thursday. Well, let's get the call.
Motion against Mississippi State.
That's Mississippi State.
Mississippi.
I imagine they'll decline that.
Legal motion on the kicking team. Penalty is declined. First down.
Mike, what they did, I don't know if you guys used to work this way, but they've actually practiced time and time again on one pass rush move, and that was it. It's like a butt and then with the outside shoulder and jerk, and he executed it beautifully. This is a guy that was a receiver just 2 years ago.
4:23 to go. Moore is the tailback. He's missed much of the second half after a blow to the head. Had 104 yards in the first quarter alone. And picks up 4, tackled by Tommy Kelly. Auburn trying to improve to 4-1, 3-0 in the league. Then this 4-game losing streak to the Bulldogs. There's some other streaks that they would like to take over as well. And Florida would be next up. 7 straight they've lost to the Gators. Big at Tiger Stadium this afternoon. Still in control of the East. Auburn would like to stay in control of the West. They're going to come from behind to do it. To the short side goes Moore. He'll be close to the first down, driven out by Morgan.
I'll tell you what, a nice job coached by Jason Campbell, young quarterback, getting the different looks from this defense. We see him checking. We know he's checking on the line. He's putting them in a good position.
You must be able to do that when you play against a Joe Lee Dunn defense. You're really out there with a freshman quarterback matching with Joe Lee. There he is. Now, that's a tough match for a youngster. Here we go again. He knows exactly what he wants.
Crowd sees that he's trying to get their attention, and they go quiet so everybody can hear.
Number
And it's
22,
Moore
Ksenius Moore,
for
picks
four.
up 4 yards.
Campbell from Taylorsville, Mississippi, works out in the offseason with people like Brett Favre, Steve McNair, and he said the biggest lesson that they both impressed on him was the importance of studying tape. So you figure Campbell has studied all the tape of Joe Lee Dunn's defense he could.
We asked him if he were intimidated. He said, no, I really understand it now. I've seen it so much. I think I know what we need to get to.
What a huge day for Ksenius Moore. He had 175 for the year coming in. Pretty close to it already. First down, 36 of the Bulldogs. Prather, as he bursts to the secondary, prevents even more damage.
Mike, they're just blocking Dorsett Davis and Nash and Kelly and those guys. They're just blocking them up front.
And you look again, look, arm tackling. Nash had a chance. He came off with the right arm, but Moore is running hard tonight. They're getting low, running hard. You can't arm tackle and bring these guys down.
Well, it's a familiar sight, isn't it, to see Kendall Simmons drive his man about 10 yards out of the hole. Did it there again. This time, no bouncing it out. Moore meeting Dorsett Davis and Mario Hagan, who does come back after the sprained ankle.
It's a battle to keep him out of field goal range here. Time winding down. Auburn with 1 timeout left. They had to waste 2.
Range for Duvall being more than for most kickers. Remember, he had enough leg on a 57-yarder wide right in the first half. This would be into the win, though.
Substantial win.
Close as they can get it. We get the 2-minute mark. Williams for Moore, a tailback.
He's running out of time now.
Snap with 1 on the play clock. And Connell Williams to the 33, where it will be 3rd and about 5.
Carnell Williams, I'm going to say it again, turns it up with those shoulder pads down. You don't see him jacked up and knocked back. He falls forward when he is tackled because he's got that body lean.
Going to mark him down, needing 7. Joe Lee Dunn has had some of the finest defenses in the country, year in, year out, wherever he's been. His 6th year with State. They need to stop here, 3rd and 7. Give it to Williams out of the gun to the 30. And now, if they kick it, they're looking at 47 yards into the wind.
Well,
if anything, the wind has picked up as this game has progressed.
They're going to kick it. They're counting on Damon Duvall's leg. He's from a difficult angle for a right-footed kicker, and he is kicking it into the wind. They're counting on their big leaguer, the guy that's nominated for the Lou Groza Award, to win this football game.
How much time would you like on the clock? No timeouts for Mississippi State.
Oh, just burn it down, absolutely.
Mississippi State can't ice him.
A 49-yard game winner last week at Vandy. This 47-yarder for the lead is good.
From over 60, but we got to see that one again. That was a cannon shot.
He kicked that thing into the nosebleed seat.
It's 47 yards. Look where it goes. You're going to lose it out of your picture. You got to be kidding me.
You think he wanted to win this football game?
All the Tigers talked about how tough it was to deal with 4 straight losses to Mississippi State.
Tommy Tuberville just pulled both groins, but it's okay.
Oh, Cheryl wanted it to be wide left.
Jackie's wishing.
No such luck.
And you know what, Bill? You called it on that play. That was a play that says we have confidence in our kicker. If he gets the first down, great, but we know we have a guy that can put it through the uprights. If they weren't confident, that would have been a pass play to try and move the chain.
I coached a guy named Doug Pelfrey who kicked for years in the National Football League. He could run on the field and win a game just like that. There aren't many of them. Kudos to Mr. Duval.
2 weeks in a row, Damon Duval with game-winning field goals, barring a miracle here by the Bulldogs. Fraser on the return. And they will be 76 yards away with 13 seconds and no timeout.
And notice, no switch.
Thank you.
No pop-up.
Thank you.
You take your kicker into the wind, and he kicks it high to the goal line or within the 2-yard line with plenty of hang time, and you count on your coverage to make them start inside the 30-yard line.
Absolutely right. I love seeing that.
Two shots for Mississippi State trying to get into field goal range. Madkin having to use time scrambling. Pulls up, fires, incomplete. Intended for Antonio Hargrove with 6 seconds.
Both coaches trying to get their young squads to grow up and play in the clutch, and you got to make that catch to give your team a chance to throw it up in the end zone.
Well, that's what's going to happen here. You'll see Madkin probably try and roll right to buy a little time and then just wind up, and we'll find out just how far he can throw a football.
Here's the Hail Mary. Intercepted by Roderick Hood, and Auburn has ended 4 years of misery against Mississippi State. They win it 16-14.
Remember, we were talking to Kendall Simmons, the fantastic left tackle for Auburn yesterday.
Let's send it down to a very happy Tommy Tuberville with Michelle.
Well, Tommy, you said at halftime this was going to come down to the kicking game, and for the second week in a row, Damon Duval did not let you down. 47 yards.
Well, we've been struggling on offense, especially in the red zone. I knew the field goals were going to be big. Our defense played well the fourth quarter. They gave us field position. I'm proud of the whole team. We needed this win. It was a big win for us.
A young quarterback who called a lot of